audio. Okay, so now here, 2 people.
Hey, I got people waiting for you.
Yeah, so now I got to do the screen share, advanced portion of screen, which would be this. And that got me there. And so now participants, I can put that here. And then chat was the other thing. Where the hell did that go? Oh, chat. And chat I could do. I need to make that smaller. Okay. Well, I think I could. One participant in the meeting.
That's you.
I thought there was 3 people a minute ago.
Well, there's 2 people waiting. You have to admit that.
Yeah, I gotta wait until they all go. Well, that's it. That's perfect. I can actually see it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right then.
Man, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
That worked perfect.
You got my number? You don't have my number.
No.
Let me give you your number in case something's going on.
This is great.
Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna call me right now, but I'm Mike Binkley, down in the auto group. So how do I call me?
Just hit your phone.
Is this you?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
on time.
Yes, sir, it is.
Thanks, Mike. That's awesome.
All right, Don. I got you. If you need any help, but if you're good, I'm on exit stage left.
Awesome. Thank you so
All right,
much.
yes, sir. When you get done, just plug that back up in there, and that'd be fantastic. Well, you won't be done till tomorrow or something like that.
Oh, I'm gonna be here all week.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you're gonna be here all week.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
All the way through Friday.
Have fun.
Thanks, Mike. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it. So, that sucks. Yes, I did. I sent them yesterday, but that's okay. We'll resend them at lunchtime. Just make sure you're on the meeting. Our orientation and training will start in 15 minutes. Please log on and you'll be in the waiting room. Hey, do me a favor, let me phone and acknowledge people. Send an text message, and let me know the Zoom meeting's going to start in 15 minutes. Please. For some reason, it's not updating on my phone because I know you did an Excel.
How you doing?
Good, good morning.
Good morning.
No one is
No, we're doing a meeting by Zoom.
by Zoom.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. If there's any problem, if I take it here?
No, you're fine, but you didn't get any of the messages?
Well, the last one, maybe no.
I sent them out a whole bunch.
Good morning. Our meeting is about to start in 6 minutes, so please log on to Zoom.
All the training part will be like on Zoom.
Yeah, the whole thing. Because COVID, we're not allowed to be in the same thing, but you're only one person, so. Just remind me at lunchtime to get your information. Did you do all your background, all your stuff done?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
What's your name?
Renee.
Oh, Renee. Okay.
Yeah,
What's your last name, Renee?
No.
Last name.
Yeah, I think I don't know if they, yeah, I did all with, all groups.
You did all that stuff.
Yeah, the only that it's pending, I think so.
I'm gonna give you, remind me, like when we go home today, I'm gonna leave you with a break. I'm gonna give you, employee paperwork. So just take it home with you, fill it all out,
All right.
Do you have a computer or anything, or
Yeah, at home.
you don't have anything? You have your phone, right?
Yeah.
So just log on to this. Just log on to it so I can record you. Even though I know you're here, this is how so I can pay you for the day.
All right. So
Just hit the Zoom.
I just log in. I mean, that's only it says.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. So you're the radio. Okay, yeah. Okay. So perfect. Awesome. You just did that now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Obviously, me and you will be a little closer, so that's okay. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, I'll text it to you right now. All right, buddy.
Good morning, Don.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
You can see me okay?
Yes, sir.
You see the PowerPoint slide?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, got a couple people coming on board. So I'm glad to see everybody's getting on here. So this is a little different for me because never did this before. So we'll see how it works out. So if we screw it up real bad, don't hold it against me. Oh.
Understand.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to mute everybody. So what you do is you have a chat session. So if you want to ask any questions, you'll be able to like raise your hand or type in the question or whatever you have, and then I'll put you on. Okay. Everybody got that?
Gotcha.
Good.
Awesome. So we'll just wait. We just have got about everybody in there. Okay, it looks like we got everybody in there. One person's waiting to get in. Okay. Okay. Everybody got that one? Oh. Okay. Did everybody hear me? Tana? All right. Okay. All right. We're going to get started. First of all, I know we have, a couple different stores here. So I welcome everybody. And let me just ask you. Yes. Hopefully I can unmute you. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to get started. So first of all, welcome. I appreciate everybody's attendance and being on time. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. So we're going to go through a lot of different things. Today, we're going to go from 9 to 12, then we're going to take a lunch break. And during your lunch break, I'm going to send through the text message, and also I'm going to do my best to send through email. And I'm going to write it up on the screen here. The link for the second Zoom meeting, which will be 1 to 3. I know I originally said 1 to 4, but it's going to be 1 to 3 today. Okay. And then obviously we're not going to do anything Saturday or Sunday. And then during the weekend, I'm going to send you out another link, and that'll be for next week. It's going to be a repeated link. So it's going to be the same meeting ID all week that we're going to go through from, go through from 1 to 3 every day this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my email address, my regular email address. And if you would just email me back with your full name, your email address, and your phone number. Okay. So I'm going to send that to you guys right now.
What's up, baby boy?
Good morning.
You all right?
Yep.
Morning, done. You start training in here already?
Yep. We already started.
Okay, I'll sit back here.
Yes, ma'am.
It don't make no.
There's only 45 people watching you, so you're good.
That's it, cool.
All right, so I sent you guys my email address, so go ahead and just, sometime today, send me your information, okay? Everybody got that one? Okay. So, and again, it's just your full email address, not the Indeed address, your regular email address and everything else. And let me see. And David, I got your message. Yeah, you're fine, so don't worry about it. David Cathers. So, all right, let's get started. So the first thing is, you can record and do whatever you want on this particular meeting. There's a lot to go through and a lot that we're going to do. Some of the parts we're going to skip a little bit, and we're going to kind of move forward because we can't do it. It has to be interactive. During probably sometime today, if some of you are close to Toyota of Katy, I would say within 15, 20 minutes, and you want to come up here at lunchtime, so you could grab your employee pack and get everything filled out, have it over the weekend, and return it to me on Monday. Okay. And those of you who are not close, we'll just make it over here on Monday sometime. You won't be here during the weekend. So you can record or, whatever you want on this section. So the first thing is that I want to go through is what we call synergy. So a lot of people, and I'm going to clear a lot of myths here. A lot of people think that a car dealership, that we're competing against each other, and that's just not true. We're not competing against each other. So the other salespeople, are not your competition. They're actually your teammates. So those are the people that you're going to help and you're going to work with on a daily basis. And that's something that we look for that's very important to us, is that everybody's working together and you're not, trying to create some kind of competition between each other, because that's not how it works. Okay. Let me see. I keep getting this on. Okay. Yes, sir. We can read that. All right. So just like we're looking, I'm just reading some of these notes. All right, let's see. I'll put up my email address again. And it's my name, it's Don Diamond 20 and the number 24 at Gmail. Okay. So it's my name, Don Diamond 24 at gmail.com. I just put it up again. All right. Just let me know you got it and we're good. Okay. So just like we were saying, the synergy part in a dealership is very, very important. As long as everybody could just give me a thumbs up if you got my email address, I'll put it up again. Got it? Toyin, you good? All right. Sweet. Sweet. All right. Good deal. All right. And again, if you want to write it down, it's my name. It's Don Diamond and the number 24 at Gmail. That's my email address. So again, if all of you would shoot me an email with your full name and your email address, this way I could email you the links, and that would go a lot easier than the text messaging, because I've gotten a lot of flack about the text messaging saying you didn't get the link, and on my side it shows it and the other doesn't. But again, the meeting ID is going to be the same all the way through the whole week. Okay. All right. So again, going back to synergy of working together, just like a baseball team, an orchestra, you know, a car dealership's the same way. We all work together for the same common goal. And the common goal is that our customers are treated 100% perfect. And you're going to learn how to do a 5-star presentation and a 5-star walk around and all these different things that you're going to learn about, and learning that the customer is the most important person in the whole transaction. We have to make sure that they are treated like royalty all the way through from start to finish, and that they receive a 5-star presentation and a 5-star experience all the way through. Anything else than that is just not acceptable. Or you're at Houston, this one, or performance, doesn't matter. Okay. Everybody got that one? So we can move on. So rule number 1 is we want to meet our colleagues, and I think you guys have the ability to chat with each other and talk to each other. Okay. And you're more than welcome to do that, to get to know each other, because a lot of you are going to be working together, whether you're at the Katy store or whether you're at the Houston store or whether you're at the Dodge store. You guys are all going to be working together as a team. So unfortunately, in this setting, we don't have the opportunity to introduce ourselves, but you guys can all chat between each other and say something. I'd love to go around the room and get all 50 of you to introduce yourselves, but unfortunately on Zoom, I have no clue how to do that. So you're gonna have to excuse me on that one. All right. So we'll skip that part and move on. So the other thing is, what we do is this particular subject, which is called don't judge the book by its cover. Normally we do this exercise, but it really only works in person, because you have to sit there and judge me. And since you can't do that, all you can see is my head, right? That's it. No, you really can't really get the whole full effect on that. But I'm going to explain to that what it means. So the easiest thing to do is when somebody is pulling up to a dealership and they get out of the car, you right away have a judgmental thing where, you know, you're looking at the person's car, or you're looking at the person, and you already are making a decision upon you know, what they look like, if they could buy, not buy, or whatever the situation is. And that's the worst mistake you can make, because you never know, you know, what somebody's credit's like, what kind of financial status they're in, just by looking at them. You know, I know some very, very wealthy people who drive some really piece of crap cars. And if you were judging them upon that, you'd be making an awful mistake. And the other thing is, you can't judge them upon their look and how they are. You know, I always tell the story because it's 100% true. You know, I was a hold on a second. Sorry. I was a partner in a Ford store, and I would always kind of watch the floor, what's going on. And I had this gentleman that had walked in the store. I guess he must have took a cab there or whatever. And he was walking around one of our Raptors, which was about $100,000 truck. And he was wearing, you know, a tank top t-shirt, shorts, and he was wearing some Nike slides and some socks. And, you know, he was a pretty built guy, but he was probably about 5'9". And he was walking around it, and, you know, nobody was paying any attention to him because, number one, he pulled up in a cab. And number two, you know, he didn't look like much. Well, after walking around for a while, I walked over to him and I said, "Hey, has somebody been taking care of you?" He said, "No." So I had one of my salesmen, a friend of mine, Lamont, went and talked to him. And the guy ended up spending $110,000 in buying the truck. And the reason why is, first of all, the guy was Reggie Bush. And if anybody you know who's Reggie Bush is, it's a pretty wealthy, famous football player. So, you know, just because the way he looked, my own people judged him, and people walked away from the car. And you know what? Reggie never even negotiated the price. He paid full sticker, and my salesman made almost $12,000 on it. And Reggie could care less because he's got millions of dollars. And you know what? He signed autographs for everybody in the store, took pictures, and all kinds of stuff. So, and that's my example of why you don't judge a book by its cover, because you don't know who you're talking to. And the other thing, too, is I want to mention, I always bring this up, is a dealership is not a place for a lot of things. Everybody who walks in the door, number one, everybody's money is green. So we don't have any place in a dealership for politics, religion, you know, any of that negative stuff that's going on you see out in the news, out on the street, all that stuff. Everybody's money spent the same way. Everybody deserves the exact same treatment, 100%. And we don't tolerate any indifference of no matter who the person is. So male, female, whatever your race, religion, or anything it is, that's just off limits 100%. Leave that stuff on the street where it belongs. When you come here to your prospective dealership, you got to treat everybody 100% the same. And if you can't seem to do that, this may not be the right environment or workspace for you, because we treat everybody 100% the same no matter what. So you're going to have to be good with that. If you can't, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to come to work. Everybody clear on that one? So give me a little thumbs up on there. Oh, good. All right. Got it. I love it. Okay. So next thing is what we call rule number 2 is we always try not to butcher people's names. And I'm the worst at that. I look at some of these names that people come up with, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just going to call you by your last name or give you a quick nickname, whether you like it or not, because I'm not gonna destroy your name for you. So what's one thing is we always like to do is you get yourself a little tiny spiral notebook you could get off of Walmart or someplace. They're like 50 cents or $1. And no matter what, always write down the person's name as soon as you meet them. It's very, very important. Now, all of you are going to have name tags, so people are going to know what your name is, and that's great because they're going to want to, because people are going to forget your name in the first 30 seconds anyway. And the best thing around it is to have that in there, is to have that, write their name down. So somebody drew on my board. Oh, well. So just make sure that you write down their full name and make sure you pronounce it correctly and do the best you can with that, okay? Next thing is we have a couple of rules that we try to live by, and these are a couple of books that you could buy, and my general rule is if you sell 8 cars during your first month, which in all the stores that you guys are going to, 100% for sure, you should be able to do that. I mean, if you're a Toyota Acadia and you can't sell 8 cars, man, that's a bad, awful deal. Not to mention even the Houston store or even Performance. But these are a couple of books. The first book is called A Better Way to Live, and it's by Og Mandino. And it's not OG for old gangster. It's Og Mandino. That's his name. And it's called A Better Way to Live. And we practice the rule, which is called Dead at Midnight. The second book, which is called The Road to a Sale, it's not a storybook. It's everything that you're going to learn next week in the book. It's a workbook, is written by me. And both of these books are on Amazon, and you can buy them on Amazon. It costs you about $27. And you know, none of us are making any money on $27. So don't freak out about that. I think I make 72 cents. But besides that, sell 8 cars your first month and you get your $27 back, because we're not interested in your money. We're more interested in your success. So your success is more important to us than anything else. So those 2 books is something we're going to practice on. We're going to talk about Dead at Midnight here for a second. So Dead at Midnight, the premise to it is just think about if the person next to you or somebody that you know, if you knew for sure that they were going to die today at midnight, their time's up, they're going to expire, how would you treat that person? How would you interact with that person, and how would you treat that person for that time being? And you were the last person, and you had the responsibility to be with that person from now to midnight. Think about that for a second and think on how would you treat them. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. Let me get that off there. I'm trying to see how I can. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys to all unmute yourselves for a second, because I want to get some of your answers in participation. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of go down the list and ask you. So the first is Clinton. How would you treat that person?
I would honestly make them as comfortable as possible. Take the time to, you know, talk to them and basically see, you know, listen to what their thoughts are and everything as well.
You would want to make them feel good, right?
Correct.
Awesome. Aiden, how about you?
I think I would do around the same thing. I would do everything I can to make sure they feel as comfortable and as relaxed as possible, and obviously have an overall, you know, positive experience with the whole situation.
Great. Okay. Alex, how about you?
Well, I mean, if they're gonna expire at midnight, you would show nothing but love and respect.
Absolutely. Carson, how about you?
I would do everything that you can to make them happy, since it's their last little while.
Okay. And Mason, how about you, Mason?
Yeah, I will deal with them like make them happy, and I will not like let them feel that they are going to die at midnight, you know. I can make like, because it depends on God. It's not on our hands.
Absolutely.
I will do my best to make them happy and do right things for them.
You want to make them the happiest you can, right?
Yes.
How about Jose Gomez?
Well, I will spend a lot of time with them. In order for him to pass away in peace, because, you know, nobody wants to suffer. So I'll spend a lot of time as I can with them.
Awesome. Adam Schultz?
Yes, sir. I treat them with the utmost respect and just make them feel as comfortable as possible.
Manny, what about you, Manny?
Yeah, just kind of tackle them to utmost respect, make them feel as comfortable as possible. Just doing anything I can to really help out.
Excellent. And let's see, where was Gracie? I thought I saw Gracie in there somewhere.
I would make them just the best moments that they probably had and make it the most cherishable. Have something to enjoy.
Okay. Cheyenne, why don't you tell me what you would do? I think you got a Cheyenne, are you there? Oh, you were there. All right. What about Nick Cardenas?
I would just give them my full undivided attention, give them, you know, make sure they have everything they need.
Excellent. Okay. How about my Air Force buddy Ali? Where are you at?
Right here. Probably just make them like their favorite meal and show them as much love as possible.
Absolutely. And that's the way we want our customers to be treated. And those of you, again, anybody that's military out there that's in our group, first of all, thank you for your service. We greatly appreciate it. We send you all the love and respect. So thank you. So I'm going to mute you guys for a second. One more time. Sorry. Okay. All right. So next thing is, all right, integrity. One of the things that we have with our situation here is that your integrity is not for sale in any way, shape, or form. Our public perception as far as car salespeople go over the years have been tainted by a lot of different situations. You know, it was a free-for-all in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. And then, you know, once 2008, 2009 came around, things kind of changed a little bit. We got more regulation. A lot of different things in the business has changed. Lionel, I see your response. Awesome. I appreciate that. Lionel, that's right. Yeah. See, I already ruined his name. It's not Lionel, it's Lionel. So anyway, so our integrity is very, very important. The reputation of the dealership, its employees, how we conduct ourselves, and everything we do is very, very important. So just remember, your integrity is never for sale in any situation. We are upfront, we are transparent, we are direct, and we do everything 100% the right way. We do not lie, cheat, steal, deceive a customer, or anything else, because that is the first place you're going to get a customer that's going to be negative. As absolutely the wrong way to be. We don't do any of that stuff. We're not some, you know, buy here, pay here lot or anything else like that. So that's not how we operate. Everything we do is 100% professional in every way, shape, or form, or we don't do it. That's why you're going to go through this training class today, which is partly orientation, and actually the sales training is going to start this afternoon. And then and all next week, we spend a lot of money to do that, to make sure you're trained exactly the right way, that you meet the customer the right way, you say the right words when you talk to them, we sit down, we have a conversation, we have an interview, and we do everything above board in the right way. Because again, the integrity of the dealership and its employees and the name that's on the building is not for sale for any reason to anybody in any way, shape, or form. So when we start looking at these rules and you start looking at here, you know, what is the public perception of a car salesperson? So I'm going to ask you guys, go ahead and unmute yourself, because I want to get your opinion. I want everybody to hear it. So go ahead and start unmuting. I'm going to start asking people. Okay. Good, guys. You can unmute. And Lionel, I want you to tell me first. What is your perception? Can you unmute it? Let's see. Oh, sorry. There we go. You can unmute yourself now. I had to click a button. So Adam, do me a favor, since your thing just popped up first. Adam Schultz, tell me what your perception is of a salesperson. When you first hear the word car salesman, first thing that comes to your mind.
Sometimes I think they get a bad rep. You know, a lot of people sometimes don't want to deal with them, but it's all about who you are and how you react to them and treat them with respect.
Exactly. Lionel, what about you?
Well, I feel the same way whenever I go to, I bought many cars in my life, and usually I wouldn't want a salesperson to come up to me right away. You know, I like to look around for a little bit and so forth, because I know how persistent they are. And I always tell myself if I ever got in the game that I wouldn't, obviously I want to sell, but there's certain ways of doing it. I think everybody gets their own knack as time goes on. But for the most part, you know, when I go to one, I like a few minutes on my own before I talk to someone. But I know how they are. They're very persistent. And so I just think, you know, that needs to change a little bit, but for the better, not for the, you know, That's just my experiences. I don't know how everybody else, but yeah, they do get a bad rap.
Absolutely. And Adam Finch, I'm going to like to hear from you.
Yeah, I've had a few negative experiences from guys being super aggressive to, you know, kind of bait and switch stuff. So I'm definitely making a point in my own mind to be the opposite of that.
Okay. David Cathers.
Yeah, so public perception, it just depends on, I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on the dealership too and just their training. But most of the time, yeah, I would say that they're pretty persistent, sometimes a little more aggressive when it comes to sales.
Okay. And that's very, very fair. Since Cheyenne didn't have a chance to respond before, Cheyenne, what about you?
I agree with everybody. They usually have a bad rep. I don't normally like to be approached as soon as I pull into a dealership either. I'd rather, look around if I haven't yet online. The persistence thing is really, everybody kind of spoke for me.
Oh, that's okay. All right. What about Giselle?
I think in general, I don't know if it's a female thing or not, but I think salesmen usually come off as intimidating, and they're like, they'll push you instead of listening to your needs and try to sell something better. That's my perception of them, but I think it could be the complete opposite, and I know I'll have that in my mind.
Awesome. What about you, Ryan Irwin?
Yeah, it's definitely a negative. They come off as equal, selfish, just somebody you don't want to deal with.
Okay. Yeah, and that's true. How about Dustin Caballero?
Yeah, I believe sometimes they can come off as pushy, and the last thing I want to do when I buy from someone is I don't want them to seem desperate for the sale, because then you know what I mean. You get the feeling of they'll do whatever they can to make the sale, and I really feel like whenever that desperateness is in there, you kind of get a little hesitant as the customer. But I believe most of our salesmen, most people imagine them as being pushy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to hear from one of my New Jersey guys.
Joseph, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
From my limited
You're
experience, I can say is on the lot, I saw two types of people. One that actually cares about the customer and somebody who's actually out to make this. And personally, what I've seen is that a customer reacts better to somebody who actually listens to them and is trying to be there for their needs, actually trying to find out what they need. Usually the car salesman, what they end up saying is like, I expected you to only care about the money and try to get me into the most top of the line thing.
Perfect. Josh Craig?
General perception, not great. However, I think that can be changed depending on who the salesman is. Take time to kind of get to learn your customers, some of their interests and what they plan on doing with whatever you're selling, whether it be a vehicle or anything else. I think you have a good chance of kind of changing their mindset and their thoughts about what kind of process they're going to get into. I think it's dependent on the salesman, but the general perception is not good.
That is true. And now, and thank you for that. And so, in the meantime, what I'm going to have you guys do is, mute your phones, which I think you're muted now, and stay that way until I call on you, or you want to ask a question or add a comment, unmute yourself. You have that ability, and we'll have the conversation. So I'm going to let you guys control that. So I just want to try to limit the background noise as much as we can. But yes, the public perception has never been that great. But since now we have more professional training in the business, and we try to do the meet and greet a certain way. We try to do the customer interview a certain way, and we participate a little bit differently. We and you, especially you guys, are the ones that are going to change that perception. So when people come to the store, we want them to have an absolute fantastic buying experience. We want them to be very, very happy when they leave here, be excited, and really enjoy the experience. You know, we hear nightmare stories about people being at a car dealership 6 and 8, 10 hours and all day long. The reality is you should be able to buy a car within 2 hours. And what's going to happen is when you meet and greet a customer and you sit down with them, as you're going to learn through your training, you're going to spend about 15 minutes with them doing an interview first. Because a car lot is kind of like a gigantic candy store. You know, some dealerships have 600, 700, 800, 1,000 cars. Some dealerships have 2,000 cars sitting on their lot. And when a customer pulls up, they don't know every make and model. Even though they think that they do, they really don't. So by us having them sit down with us for a minute and getting their information and finding out really what they're looking for, our job is to find the best vehicle for them that they're interested in. Then they're not going to just pop up and say, hey, you know, I'm looking for a 4-door car and I don't know what I'm looking for. They have a pretty good idea. And the reason is 85% of every single person that comes into a dealership to buy a car has already looked online, has already done their research, has already kind of figured out the price and figured out some of the terms, or has kind of built themselves what they really want already. So 85%, so 8 out of 10 people have already done that research and already figured out what they want. So when they show up here to the store, they're not just looking around or kicking tires, because the reason why they came to the store is because they found the product, they picked the dealership, and now they're coming in here to buy. So the only difference is you're going to make that difference. You're going to be the difference whether they have a good experience or a bad experience. And that's going to basically come down to your education and how you treat that customer in that first 30 seconds when you meet them. And that's one thing we're going to accomplish in this whole training class, is to make sure that we have all that dialed in so we're 100% perfect in that area. That the meet and greet is done correctly and done the right way, and our interview is done correctly the right way. And we're never going to talk about somebody's credit. We're never going to ask them about their credit or any of that stuff, because it's not at that point yet. Because after that first 15 minutes that you're going to be with that customer, the next 45 minutes, you're going to be with them on the lot at that car, because you're going to become a product knowledge expert and you're going to become an inventory expert. And once you've accomplished those two things, then you're going to have a very solid working knowledge of what's going on. So when somebody's talking to you, you're not running around a car lot with the remote in your hand, hitting the emergency button, trying to figure out where this car is. You're going to know whether it's here or not. And we're going to learn as we go on in training that the computer is not your friend. The only thing that is your friend is the inventory that's out there. So that 45 minutes you're going to spend outside on the lot with the car, presenting it. You're not selling it. You're teaching the customer what to do with the vehicle. You're going to teach them how to use everything. Whether they're male or female, doesn't matter. You're going to tell them about the motor, the torque, the warranty, the safety rating, all the technical information about that vehicle. You're going to teach them how to use the radio, the Bluetooth, the navigation, the Apple CarPlay, how to do all these things. Your job is just like if you were buying, you know, this iPhone or something, right? You already know you're going to buy this iPhone, right? But you really want to know how to use every single feature, and you want to know everything about it. What our 4 minutes on is teaching them about the product. After you've accomplished that, oh boy, it says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully everybody's still with me. I didn't lose anybody. That's what you're going to teach everybody. And that whole process right there takes about an hour. The next hour is going to be getting them through the finance department and finishing off that aspect. And if you do that right, the finance part of it is super easy. And then secondarily after that, then you're going to do the delivery. And some of us will have delivery coordinators that do that. Some of us won't. And then you're going to do the call and walk around. Now, one thing I'm going to type on here so everybody could see it is, okay, I just typed in my name in there. That is the YouTube connection. All of you guys, when we take a break at lunchtime, should get on the YouTube. I don't care whether you subscribe or not, doesn't make any difference to me. Subscribe there, and all the videos that we're going to be talking about this afternoon and tomorrow are on there. So I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I want to make sure everybody's connection in there. So Victor Andrade, unmute yourself, and I'm going to see you on the screen.
Hello.
All right, good. So you can hear me fine, no problem?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So again, get on the YouTube part of it, and everything that we're going to learn is on our my YouTube channel. And the number one thing we want to start looking at is looking at the vehicle walkarounds. And we do a large. It says it's not allowing you to unmute, Ahmad. All right, let me just see. Yeah, it says that you are. You just got to kind of figure out where the button is.
Oh no, that was earlier. I'm good though.
Oh, you got it, Ahmad?
Yeah.
It's Ahmad Taylor, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't see the link.
So, okay. You mean it's my name? It's Don Michael Diamond. So if you type that into YouTube, I'll come up first.
Okay. Let me try.
Okay, and then you can put that in there. Okay. Did you find it, Angela?
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
You got
it? Yeah, I got you. Which video? Which one? The sales training?
The one we're going to talk about that I want you guys to watch is the walkarounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yep.
And again, for all of you, you guys are popping up questions. You don't see the link. It's just my name. It's Don Michael Diamond. Just type that into YouTube and it'll come up. And it'll be a benefit to subscribe because there's new content in all there. And you guys are going to learn about video communication. You're going to learn about social media and a lot of different subjects that we're going to have all the way through. Okay. You're going to learn and you're going to make videos because we're going to communicate with our customers on videos, and we're going to do it through social media just the same. Okay. One of the things is, this is usually a good example, but looking at the NADA figures on here, we have 18,000 new car dealerships in the United States, and we run about 18 million new cars every single year on average. And just the new car dealers themselves, not the factory, we spend $7.5 billion on average just in advertising by itself. In used cars, we have about 34,000 used car dealers in the United States with about $32 million worth of, 32 million units that we sell every year. So new and used cars, we're selling about 52 million cars on a yearly basis. And just the dealers themselves, new and used together, we're spending about $8.5 billion just in advertising. Now, once you throw the big three in there, which is Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler Corporation, they spend another $7 billion. And then our imports, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, all those spend another 6.5. So in total, our industry, just on the one side, we spend about $22 billion a year in advertising, which makes us the #1 advertiser on the planet. The next closest people to us is pharmaceuticals, which spends about $8 billion. We spend all this money to drive traffic into the dealerships all over the United States, the 18 million stores that we have for all the different brands. That's just the U.S. That is not anything else that rolls around. That is not, Canada, Mexico, Europe. That is just the U.S. alone. Okay, just by itself. Looks like somebody put up a couple of links on there, and I appreciate that. So by us doing that makes us the industry leader. And the reality is, as you look around and start looking at stuff and really start to realize, you literally will hear some type of car commercial, whether it's
Did he fall
Guess we
out?
lost him.
Yeah, I think his internet's rough.
Right.
Glitchy for me.
Yeah. This is back.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Adam, can you hear me fine? Adam Finch?
Yeah, I can now. I can't. I'm not seeing you yet, though.
Okay. Can you see the screen that says NADA figures?
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Everybody back up? We're
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
We're good.
All right. So, all right. Then we'll just make sure everybody's there. Okay. Okay. Looks like we are. All right. Looks like you can't see me, Alfredo?
Not at all.
I can see you, so I hopefully others are able to now as well.
All right, now I see.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I'm going to see if the
there you
boost
are.
up this internet connection a little bit. Let me just text my IT guy here.
Everybody else needs to mute themselves so that Donna's the only one talking and it only focuses on him.
Yeah, if you could do that, you guys are in control. So I left you that way. So just mute yourself if you want to talk or speak up. Just unmute yourself and say something. But as far as I could see, looks like we're back up. So I apologize for that. Oh. Everybody good? All right. All right, let's continue. Everybody good? Yeah, you know what? Thanks, Angela. Everybody could give me a thumbs up so I know you're all are there. That's good. I see you all on here. Looks like I lost one person there. They're coming in. All right. Anyway, waiting for one person to get back on. We lost you. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're with Zoom. So I don't know. We'll keep going. Anyway, the whole point to it of the NADA figures and why we spend so much money, as you look at this, if you look around the industry and what we own and what we do, all the sports stadiums, sports teams, all the different hospitals, car magazines, TV shows, all the manufacturers have a hand in a lot of that stuff. Like you look at J.D. Powers. J.D. Powers is owned by General Motors. So they give themselves an award all the time. You hear them on TV. Why wouldn't they? They own the company. So, you know, even though that's skewed, that's still, it is what it is. I mean, it may be funny, but it's the way it is. Alfredo, can you hear me fine and see me fine? Alfredo Galvez,
Yes, sorry. Yes, I can hear you and
you
see.
can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
You look like you're frozen. What's that?
Can you hear me now?
Alfredo?
Yes.
I can hear him, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can you hear him or no?
We can hear him.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's his connection.
Don, I was asking Don, yeah, can you hear
No.
him?
Don,
No?
I think Don's frozen.
right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't. Wait, did Don disconnect again?
Yeah, his sister, he seems to have frozen there.
Oh shit.
That's
Yeah.
quite unfortunate.
Corona.
Yeah, just blame everything on the coronavirus. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, coronavirus taking over the internet.
That's 2020.
Or Donald Trump. People like doing that too. Donald Trump fault. Sweet.
Guess he'll log in at some point.
We'll get there.
Hey, chévere.
There you go. Don, if you're there, we could see the screen now.
What if he never comes back?
He'll make it. There were a lot of storms out here, so maybe that's
Yeah, my
affecting them.
internet connection is pretty bad right now because of the storm.
Yeah. He's in Texas, right? In Texas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my internet's been out like for like the last, I don't know,
Well,
15
I have
hours.
Comcast,
I'm using
so
my
it's
phone
always
right now.
bad.
Where is it storming at right now?
Right now it's storming here in South Katy.
Yeah, it's sunny over here, New Jersey. Anyone else from
Beautiful day in
Jersey?
Jersey. Beautiful day in
Oh,
Jersey.
there you go. Beautiful day in Jersey, right?
Correct.
Such a rare occasion over here in Jersey.
Very much. Very
You know how
much.
it is over here, man. Everyone's all grumpy over here.
So wait, are y'all, is this a dealership in Jersey that you guys are doing this for, or what do you guys
Yeah,
do?
Performance Dodge.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Woodbury.
Okay.
Woodbury, New Jersey. Yeah.
Woodbury, New Jersey. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Woodbury. I've never even heard of that. Wow, okay. What's it like out there?
Damn, I thought
It's something.
Yeah.
Have y'all lived there long or what?
Look, honestly, there's a big difference between North Jersey and South Jersey. I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, there really is.
So is Woodbury, is that in North Jersey?
It should be two different states.
South Jersey. Like how close
Yeah.
south?
Like that. All right. So Woodbury is basically like maybe 15 minutes away from Philadelphia.
Right.
Okay, so is it in Warren County then?
Oh no. That I think that's up north. Yeah, North Jersey. That's in Camden County, I think, or Gloucester. I don't know.
Right. It's Gloucester.
County. Gloucester, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
We're all in different states.
I'm from the North Philly area, South Jersey area. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
Oh, so you
Yeah, I'm
know,
actually
right?
currently in Delaware. It's about 25
Okay.
minutes away. Right over the bridge.
Delaware. Wow.
Delaware.
All over the place.
Yeah, we're all
I mean,
over
I
the
drove
map.
through Delaware once. If that
It takes you 30 minutes to get through.
Yeah,
man.
if you blink, you're gonna miss it. So
Yeah.
Yo,
I just
yo,
moved
is
back
there,
up here from Atlanta, so yeah, it's interesting.
Oh,
is there
okay.
anyone here from Alaska, Hawaii? I mean, at this point, you know, maybe like a territory too, like I don't know, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Who knows?
I'm in Houston from San Diego. I just came in like a week ago. It's
Hey,
a full
nice.
San Diego.
15. Actually, it was like 21 hours with a 8-month-old and my wife.
Oh, really?
Oh
Wow, what a
wow.
move, man.
Oh man,
Right on.
That was fun.
Wait, did you
I
come here
feel
with
that
the job or
California
you
drive.
Yeah, I got sick and tired of paying $2,500 in rent.
Yep.
Yes.
San
I
Diego's
understand
expensive.
that.
There you go.
I
Wait,
feel
did you
you
wait?
there. I was
Welcome
living
to Houston.
in the North Bay. I was
Oh man,
Oh,
that's getting worse
New
up there.
Jersey.
yeah, it's
New Jersey is an expensive state to live in.
That's
Talking
part of the
about
reason
$2
why I
million
got out of New
for like a
York.
studio.
All right, you guys ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Don.
Yes.
All right.
There we go.
Everybody can see me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So we're back. So yes. So what we got here on here is we have. I see everybody kind of going back and forth, which is awesome. So yeah, we have. We're all in. Most of us are in Houston, in Katy, Texas, and we have 3 stores on. We have Toyota of Houston, which is Don McGill Toyota of Houston, and then we have Toyota of Katy, and then we have Performance Dodge, which is in Woodbury, New Jersey. So some of you are going to go work in Performance Dodge, and the rest of you are going to be between Toyota of Katy and Toyota of Houston. So we're all on this together, which is the first time we've ever done this, because this is all new technology, thanks to COVID-19. So wonderful thing. But normally we do this in classes. You can see behind me how big the room is. I'll move out of the way. And, oh, who's that young lady back there on the laptop? She can wave. So, and we have a couple of guys that showed up here in person. So, yep, and we're all going to learn the exact same thing, and we're all going to do the same thing because it's universally the same all over the entire country. So, but again, thanks again. At least we're all here, so that's cool. And especially y'all from California that moved to Texas. Welcome to Texas. You're here. You're getting ready for a rude awakening. We're a pretty proud state. You're going to have to get used to eating barbecue and Tex-Mex food.
I already had the barbecue. It was delicious.
Did you? Yeah, you're going to get yourself some chorizo and eggs in the morning. We're ready. Anyway, so can you guys see the NADA figure still?
Yes, it's still up.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it looks like we're back to normal. We got everybody back up here. So perfect. So I miss Rosenberg. Hey, Rosenberg's a pretty good place. I like Rosenberg. It's fun, especially the little state fair they have out there. Pretty awesome. The Fort Bend County Fair. It's awesome. Anyway, so getting back to the NADA figures of what we were talking about. So because we spend this kind of money, it has to come from somewhere. And where it comes from is our profit in the business. This is one of the most lucrative businesses you'll ever be in your entire life. Money going forward is not going to be something that's going to be your issue ever. That I'm telling you now. That's something you're going to have to get used to and hopefully not go crazy once you get about a whole bunch of money in your pocket. Ain't that right, Clinton? I'm not picking on you. So,
yes, that's true.
Oh, I see you ready. You had a tie 5 minutes ago. That shit's gone in a heartbeat.
I had to get comfortable. Everyone else is comfortable, so hey.
All right. So getting back to NADA. So this is real numbers. You can look it up. And one thing that we're going to ask you to do is I want you to research your area, where you're going to be, your home zip code, and also the dealership zip code in order to figure out, what your demographics are and who you're looking at. And we're going to get more into that later. But I want you to understand that the wealth that is in the car business itself in a whole is absolutely outstanding. And I can tell you this, and you can look this stuff up yourself, how a company is valued is not just the value of their stock or their equipment or that kind of thing. A company is valued upon how much cash do they have, how much money do they actually have in the bank, and what their sustainability is. That's what actually makes a company worth what it's worth. So to give you an idea, you take Apple. Everybody knows Apple, right? Apple has roughly what we call 550 years worth of cash in the bank. So in other words, they don't have to sell one single product, take in one more dollar, but they can pay every employee and keep going just like normal, like business was normal without selling one more thing for 550 years before they run out of cash. And the car business, our industry, is even heavier than that. Just to give you some perception of what you're embarking on, just to give you an idea. So if you look at what billions of dollars is, you can look through these slides, but the reality is this. So let me see if I can stretch this up a little bit. Yeah, okay. So everybody likes to, and yes, I do agree. We're not in Houston. We're not Cowboys fans. We're Texans fans. And I didn't realize Philadelphia still had a team. I'm sorry, never mind. Anyway, just moving on there. So
That's cool.
just move there a second. So the medium income that we have through the United States when it comes to money is right. What you're looking at on the screen is about $52,000 to $53,000 a year. Our medium here in Houston is a lot higher because we're a bigger area. So, in Houston, our medium income is about $71,000 a year for car salespeople. The rest of the country is about $55,000. That's kind of what the medium is. And what we mean by medium is the average car salesperson sells about 12 cars a month. In Houston, it's a little higher. It's more like 14 because we just have a lot more population than you do. Not so much as the Northeast, like in Jersey and Woodbury and that area, doesn't have a dominant population, but because that tri-state area is so close, you got New York, New Jersey, you got Philly, you got all those areas that are bunched together, your actual medium income is a lot higher. It's almost $100,000 when it comes to that, just for that particular section. But once you average everything out, we're looking at about 55 and we're looking at about 12 units. So you got to look at your prospective area and look at what your market is in order to tell what the differences are, right? So that's why we look at that. And what we don't want you to become is we don't want you to be what we call the best of the worst. We don't want you to be that person that's just doing the average, making 50, 60 grand a year, pumping out 12, 13 cars a month, and then you're just kind of happy on where your level is at. We're not looking to be that. What we want you to do is we want you to be a little bit above average. We want you to hit that 18 to 22 sweet spot so everybody could be making more money. And if you, which we're going to do right now, and if you look at the examples of how things are, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So what I'd like you guys to do is break out a pen and a piece of paper, okay? And we're going to do an example right now. All right? So what I want you to do is write down the number 350 and put that off to the side. And now what I want you to do is I want you to write down how much money do you want to make. I want to say this year, but let's just call it a 12-month period for argument's sake, okay? Let's just call it a 12-month period. So in a 12-month period, what I want you to do is I want you to write down what your income is that you want for that 12-month period. And please be realistic. I want you to look at your past employment over the last 36 months. How much money have you made over the last 3 years? And then look at that. And now I want you to look at how much money do you want to make in a 12-month period. You guys back there writing that down? Make sure you write that down. You got to participate. Matter of fact, if you want to move up here, that's fine. Or if you're good back there, you're fine. All right, so write that down. Everybody got it? Give me a little thumbs up on your screen thing. Okay, so now try to follow along. So now what I want you to do is I want you to divide. So you could take out your calculators or you use your fingers and toes, whatever works. Clinton, since you got your tie off, you shouldn't be restricted. So we're going to take, let's say you want to make, just give you an example. Let's say it's 85,000, right? Divided by 350 will give you a unit number. So that unit number, let's say is mine. I did 85,000 divided by 350 would be 242. All right. So write that number down, 242. That's how many cars you're going to need to sell in a year. Now I want you to divide that by 12, which would give you another unit count, which would, let's say, be 20, right? So again, what you're going to do is you're going to take how much money you want to make. So let's say it's $85,000 divided by 350, right? That gives you your first unit count for the year. Divided by 12 gives you your monthly unit count. Then you're going to divide that by 4.3. So I'm going to go around the room. You guys just start unmuting yourselves. I'm going to start with Adam Schultz, and you're going to tell me what your income and what your unit count is for the week. Go ahead, Adam.
When you divided it by the, what was it, the
4.3.
Okay, that's the week?
Yep.
Okay. I got 4.9.
Okay, so you're going to round that up so that's 5 cars.
Yep.
So in reality, if you take 5, so that's how much that's how many units you're going to need to sell based upon the national average, because the national average on what we make per car is $350 a car. That's our national average. In Houston, and you need to write this down, it's $414 is our average. Up in the Northeast, the average is $510. And the reason why, and we'll get into that later, is because leasing's more prevalent there, which we're going to get into, and you're going to learn a lot about leasing from me also. But so like take Adam, for example. So what is your income that you want to make in a 12-month period?
I put 90,000.
Okay. So if you take that, you're going to need to sell 5 cars a week. Now, if you have 6 days to do it in, do you not think that's achievable for yourself?
I definitely think it's achievable.
Especially if you're going to be working here at Toyota of Katy, the amount of cars that we sell, five a week should not be an issue in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
We have people that do 5 in a day, so that shouldn't be us. Let me ask Angelo. What'd you write down, Angelo?
I got well, for the income I put 85,000.
Okay.
And then 242 in a year, and 20 cars in monthly, and then 4.7 is the final number.
Okay. And that's fine. And that's realistic, but that's not me telling you what you want to make. That's you what you want to make. And I'm telling you what the number is. Now what you could do is take your number, and when I told you what the number was in your prospective area, like Houston is what I told you, 414, and then New Jersey. So now you can reverse add it in. So you take your weekly number, times that by that number, or put in your 414 times your unit per 20, your unit per number per month will give you what your income should actually come out to be.
So you said for the Northeast, you said the average was like what was it, 510?
$510.
So you would do that times, I guess, 4.7.
Well, you take 20 cars a month, so you take 242, right? Times 510 is what?
Okay.
And Adam, you do it.
Okay. That's it comes out to 123,420.
So if you did the average commission that's in the Northeast there, based upon your own income, in that unit without changing one car, without adding one more unit to it, without adding any bonuses or any extra money whatsoever, that's what you should be able to make based upon your own numbers. That's where you're at. Okay.
That's good.
Let me ask Amanda, what was yours? You can unmute yourself.
So I put 75,000, so it breaks down to like around 3 to 4 cars a week.
What is your weekly number? 3 point what?
3.4.
3.4. Okay, so really 3.5 cars a week, and that's good.
Right.
Okay. What about Carson?
I'm sorry, I was muted.
That's okay.
I put 80,000 and it came out to 4.43 cars a week, so 5 cars a week.
Well, if you're 4.4, you can round it down to 4.
Okay.
And if you're like 4.5, if you're 4.6 or above, you round it up. If you're 4.5 or less, you round it down. Okay. So you're looking at 4 cars a week. Do you think you can achieve that? Shouldn't be too difficult, should it? It's not. What about Jalen?
You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I put 78 to 80,000.
Okay.
And I think I got it right at 4.7, 4.8.
So 5 cars.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about Jamali?
4.2.
4.2. So you're 4 cars a week, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about Chris Bradford?
He's muted. Let's see. I put 100,000.
Okay.
And it ended with 6 a week.
6 a week?
Yes.
Okay. That's not bad. Josh Craig?
7 per week.
7? Okay. That's actually, it's very achievable, believe it or not. So you're trying to do about $150, is that right?
$130.
$130. It's close. What about Plata? Let's see. All right. How about Zachary Allen?
I did about like 5 cars a week. So like my goal for the year is 90,000. So I divided that by 350. After that, 242. No. I got different numbers in there, divided by 12. So around that's about 4.9. So I did about 5 a week.
Okay. What about Renee Velasco?
Just it's not working with the phone properly.
Okay, that's fine. How many you got, Renee?
So my goal is 120 years. I wanted to make 664. That would be 7. But like going into the middle, I think that will be 5.5 cars. And I got around 80,000 to 90,000 a year. That's what I'm using.
Perfect. Okay, good job. Let's see who else we got here. George, I got George already. Adam, Ahmad.
Yes, sir. So I was at 3.8 cars, and my goal was 70,000 for the year. So around 4 cars a week.
Yep, very doable. I don't see anybody that's really out of line there, but that's where you're looking at. So now you can figure out your own things just by using that example, whether you want to use the actual real numbers for Houston or you want to use the real numbers for the Northeast. Doesn't matter if you just use the standard number, which is 350. That is pretty universal all the way around. That's how you can figure out where your income is and what your track is. Okay. And then we're going to learn about tracking. And so how you could actually track your different numbers. Now, I like getting into this next example. So what unfortunately, I have to use the slides the way we have to do it here. So here is some statistical real information. Let me see. Oh, that's somebody. So MetLife, Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, does surveys, all over the world have been doing it for nearly 100 years, trying to figure out what people's lifespans are and where they're at as far as their life is concerned. So how this works is from people, once you graduate high school, most people go to college, 4 years, or technical, or go to the military, whatever. But normally you start your life technically at about age 25. So from 25 to 65, you have roughly 40 years of you're going to be working. And while you're working in that 40-year span, what is that going to amount to? Where are you going to end up? So based on the surveys that we have, if you look at it, people that what we call are rich is 1 out of 100, which actually is 1% of the U.S. population. Those are people who, are very, very, very wealthy, multi-millionaires. People who are successful may not be multimillionaires, but are successful. They can pretty much buy whatever they want, do whatever they want. That runs into 4% of the U.S. population. Then people who have died by the time they're age 65, where they've worked their whole life and they never got a chance to retire, of a heart attack, stroke, stress, whatever it is, that is actually 5% of the U.S. population. People who are still working who cannot retire, look at the number. It's 36%. It absolutely jumps wild. Then people who are absolutely flat broke, who have a net worth of about $500, is 54%. That's an enormously pitiful number. So 54% of the U.S. population, and this is a statistical fact, by the time they hit age 65, cannot retire. And that's because, in the reality, what you've been taught since birth for the last 75 years, really since the Depression, is go get a job, go punch in a time clock, get your hourly good pay. You're going to be set at a certain salary, and that's what you're going to have for the rest of your life. Well, it doesn't work that way because there's a lot of mitigating factors. You got rent. If you start adding up, which part of this example I'm going to want you to do, usually I do this on a blackboard, but if you take the average income, which is, actually the average income is about $34,000 a year. But if you negate that and go and use what teachers, police, fire, and all that is, and you use that $40,000 a year, you're looking at about an average of $3,600 to $3,800 a month. And the reason why you don't feel sometimes so broke is because you're living paycheck to paycheck. And once you're living paycheck to paycheck that way, you don't feel as bad as your financial situation is. And that changes. And when you get onto a different pay plan and a different commission structure like we're talking about you embarking on, you have an unlimited income. You're not capped. You're not just punching a clock. You're able to achieve the financial goals that you're looking for in multiple areas. And that's one thing we're going to get into. So anybody have any questions about that themselves? So one of the ways we're going to hopefully change the mentality and how you've been programmed to think and do is with what we call your attitude and your behavior. Understand that anything that you do is 100% achievable in every possible way, shape, and form. Is 100% achievable. You just have to believe that you can do it and handle it, which is not an issue and not a problem. Your income is something that's very important. So here's the next example I need you to write down. Okay? Everybody ready? I need you to write down, take the age 65 and then write down your age underneath it and do the deduction, do the math, and whatever number you have left there. That means that's how many years you technically have left to retirement. So write down your example. Zachary Allen, I can see you, and I can see you ain't writing. Pick up that pen. Are you doing it on your phone? Okay. All right, good job. I can see you now. All right, write that in. Hey, how come none of you guys are wearing a face mask?
Do it.
Just kidding. Huh? No, you're. I know you are.
I was gonna ask if that was required for this meeting.
Just for Clinton only. Clinton, you got to wear a face mask, man.
I'll go put one on right now.
You can't. No, you can't breathe through it. I can't stand those things. I got one from SeaWorld. It has little whales all over it. Look retarded. But anyway, so now I want you to write. You got your age, right? So you write in 65. Put your age underneath it, do the math, and deduct. You're going to come up with a number. Now, what I want you to do is do the division and take 2.6 million divided by the number you have left. And then just for example purposes, Ali, tell me what number you got. Ali.
Give me a second.
Where you at?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There you are, Ali. Okay. So what number do you got left?
65,000.
65,000. Okay. So now in reality, okay, and a lot of you may think that's not achievable, whatever number you got left, and that number is large, that's how much money per year you have to save in order to technically retire. That's how much money you got to save. And some of you may be looking at that number and saying, man, ain't no way. So, okay, so now take that number, divide it out by 12. Yep, divide it by 12, and that's how much money you really got to save per month. And you can break that down by 4.3 and go to weeks. You can go to days and figure out what that number is. And a lot of you may say, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to be able to achieve that. And I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. And the reason why they came up with 2.6 million, the reason why they came up with that number is because the average person now lives longer. Our lifespan used to be about 77. It jumped up to 84. Now they say by the time somebody who's in their mid-20s reaches that 65 age portal, we're looking at about an average age of 92 to 93 years old is where people are going to be living. So technically you need 30 years worth of income to live off of so you don't have to work. And if you break down 2.6 million, you got to still pay income tax. Uncle Sam's got to get his money, number one. You got health insurance costs. Medicare's not going to cover everything. You got to buy cars, you got to buy food, the electric bills, all that stuff, housing, all those different things that you got to still pay for. Plus, you got to have money to spend and money for medical in different areas like that. So that number, even though it sounds like a gigantic number, is not as big as you think. But that's really the time frame you have left to achieve that. Now, when you're not making $30,000 or $40,000 a year, but now you're making 80 to 150 in that neighborhood, you're going to have a lot more disposable income. Now, those of you who are in the great state of Texas have a little bit different advantages than some people in the rest of the country because we don't have state income tax, we don't have city income tax and stuff like that. Just like, I know like the places that don't have football teams like Philly and stuff, eventually, hopefully you guys change that. That's terrible. But anyway, you have all those taxes that you got to pay, and a lot of places in the country in the South don't have that. So, I like that, Clinton. That's pretty cool. So, oh my God.
All my guys when we're spraying for mold and stuff.
Jeez. Yeah, we have that problem here. Mold. That's one thing we do got. But anyway, so that's the number that you got to live on. But can you achieve that? Sure. If you invest your money right, you do things certain ways, and you make a better income that's going to be something more suitable to you, of like selling cars and having a professional career in this business. That's what's going to help you achieve that particular number. That's what's going to get you there to actually be able to save and put away that kind of money. Okay. But I want you guys to be apprised of what really you're looking at, because a lot of people won't give you the truth and tell you, oh yeah, just keep doing this and you'll be fine. Your retirement will be there. This will be there. And it's absolutely not true. Okay. So, but that's kind of where you're at. And is that a little bit, could that be a little bit overkill? Of course. But the reality is, don't you want to have 30 years worth of income sitting in the bank so you can retire at 65 and enjoy hopefully your grandkids and the rest of your life without beating the street and being a greeter at Walmart or something? But that's the difference. So how do we change those habits? One of the things you're going to learn about and change is going to be this particular subject, which is your emotion, your adrenaline, the repetition, the education. You're going to learn how to quiz, how to do these different things. Everything that you're fixing to learn is going to be teaching you how to be financially independent between now and next Friday, how to make your money work for you so you're not working for your money, how to actually achieve more income, how to have better time management so you don't have to work 100 hours a week in order to achieve your goals, but be able to manage your time right and take care of your customers. And trust me when I tell you, taking care of your customers and giving them an excellent experience is going to mean everything in the world. Absolutely everything in the world to you. So these particular things that we're talking about are very, very important. So let's just see here. I have to. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a second to read this. And we are looking to employ everybody. Just that simple. That's why you're on here. So there's nobody here that, unless you don't pass the background and driver's license test and that kind of stuff, like driver's license check, not test, there's really no reason for you not to be employed. Okay. And then we're going to figure this out. Those of you who are in Jersey, you know, if you haven't already, probably this afternoon or Saturday, make your way over to the store to pick up your employee packs. Okay. And they'll get to your paperwork process pretty quick. Those of you who are in Houston, I'm going to ask you to come by today, if you can, at lunchtime, if you're close to the store, to pick up the paperwork that you need. And then we're going to get you, and those of you who are not, we'll get you situated Monday and Tuesday also. Okay. But we're going to get that ball rolling because you guys are going to need it. So now that we're looking at those examples and how we do things, what questions do you have? And everybody can pretty much mute before we go on and we start talking about money and benefits and all the stuff that we're going to get into here in the next couple of minutes. So what questions do you have that I can answer for you? Just do me a favor and hit the little hand button so I can call on you. Okay. When it comes up. Come on, Clinton. I know you're full of questions.
I'm actually okay.
You actually okay?
Yeah.
All right. So what about John?
Yeah, I just want to ask, how long has Don McGill, Katie been in business, and what has been the experience for the newly employed staff?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. First of all, Don McGill has been in business since, I'm not mistaken, since 1966, right? Sheila? I believe we've been in business since 1966. One of the very first Toyota stores in the state of Texas, if not the first. And we have two stores, which is Toyota of Houston and obviously Toyota of Katy. And we are two of the most successful Toyota dealerships in the whole country.
Awesome.
We're one of the highest volume Toyota dealerships in the country.
Okay, great. Awesome.
So, and we're a 5-star dealer all the way around both stores. Good question, John. What about Briley?
I didn't have any questions for you.
Okay. Carson, what about you?
I don't have any right now.
You good?
Good right now.
You look like you're sitting in a refrigerator.
This chair is really tall.
I was going to say, oh, but that thing is big. I'm saying, man, what you do?
No.
Cheyenne, how about you?
So far, no, I don't have a question yet.
All right. How about Chris Arredondo?
Nope, none.
No, Chris, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
How about Dustin?
No, sir. Everything seems to be pretty cut and dry, pretty simple.
Giselle?
Good to go.
Okay.
I'm good, thank you. No questions.
No questions? All right. How about Zamali? You don't have a camera, Zamali?
There is some problems. Sorry. No questions.
Okay. I'm going to ask, how about Jawan Carter?
No, sir.
I didn't wake you up, did I?
Okay.
All right, good deal. Okay. How about Mark Mira? I haven't heard from Mark all day.
Oh, no, I don't got any questions right now.
And Mason? Okay. All right. So if you have anything, and just, like I said, just spit it out.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I have 2 questions. The first one is, how long is this training going to last for? I remember you told me during the interview that it could last all the way down to like 10 years, depending on how long you want to stay with the company and how much certification you want to get. So how long is this particular orientation training? How long is it going to take?
Actually, your first initial training, like I said, this morning is just orientation. We're going to be done at 12 o'clock. Then we're going to take a break from 12 to 1 Central Standard Time. And we're going to come back on from 1 to 3. And 1 to 3, we actually start the sales training. And then we're going to do nothing. Nobody's going to do anything Saturday or Sunday besides have a good time. Not too good. And then Monday, we're going to start at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we're going to go to 4 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday next week. And yes, we'll be on Zoom for the entire week. Those of you who live close to the Toyota of Katy store and no more than 10 or 15 minutes out, if you want to come to the conference room, come here. We can actually house about 15 people in this room max, even though we can seat probably 45, but due to social distancing, we can do that, which I'm going to ask some volunteers to do that, because on the screen that we're going to be doing, I want you guys to be able to understand and know how to do the live role playing that we got to do. And we're also going to do live walkarounds on the cars themselves. So this is going to be a little different. So we're going to have a little bit learning curve, but we're going to do our training the way we need to do it. We're not going to let COVID ruin our circumstances. So to answer your question, it's going to be all next week. And then those of you working for Toyota, the following week, week number 2, you're going to be going through Toyota University. You're learning how to learn all about the particular product itself. And you're going to be working and training at the same time, week number 2. And then week number 3, you're going to be teamed up with a team leader, and you're going to be on a specific team. And then you're going to be training and working every day. You're always going to spend anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour every day doing something to enhance your career and your education in the business, period. Same thing for the guys in New Jersey. Nothing's going to be any different. Okay. And your training, goes in spurts, but it's a never ending thing. But your initial training, so you know what you're doing is going to last the next 5 days. Okay.
All right, that sounds good. My second question, I think it's 2 in 1. How long have you been with Toyota, and what is the most exciting aspect of your job, of your position?
Well, first of all, I work with both of these stores. I actually did work for Toyota of Houston, which is Don McGill Toyota, many, many years ago. I was there for about 3 years. But I own my own training company, which is called the National Automotive Training Association. And we do have spots all over the country, New Jersey, New York, Texas, everywhere else.
What's the name?
And National Automotive Training Academy. And what we do is we hire and train in every position in the dealership, from general managers to salespeople to service advisors, everything. We handle all of it 100%. And that's what I do, and I do for the stores. I do their hiring and training for multiple positions, not only sales. And I myself, a long time ago, very long time ago, used to sell cars back in the 80s when I was going through college. I played baseball for the University of South Florida and got picked up by the Tampa Yankees, which was a farm team for the New York Yankees. Played single A ball while I was going to college there and started selling cars. Sold cars for about 2.5 years. And I worked for a company called Asbury Automotive, and I became their executive vice president. I was over 186 stores. Went through the National Auto, as you saw, the NADA. We have a dealer school, became a dealer here in Texas. And I owned a company called Baytown Honda. I owned a Honda dealership for about 5 years and sold it. And I've been doing the training for about the last 36 months. And I have a lot of good, close friends in the business all over the country that I take care of their stores, if that helps you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But to be honest with you, the most exciting this career is watching guys like yourselves break into the business and scoring. We got a girl named Allison here that started in the business. I don't even think she's here a year yet, and she's already at the top of the leaderboard. And we got a guy, Andre, that is at Toyota of Houston. Some of you will meet and see. And right now at that store, he's been in the business, I want to say, less than 6 months, and he's #1 on the board right now. And they're all making good money and loving and living life. And these are people you're going to be able to talk to. And during our lunch break at 12 o'clock, I would normally show this on the screen, but I'm not sure how to do it. And I'm afraid to lose the internet connection and have to dial 50 of you back up. But what I want you to do is go on to YouTube. Okay, so write this down. And I want you to watch. It's about a 2-minute video. And look for the title. Put in Ali, A-L-I, Reda, R-E-D-A, Fox News. Okay? And watch it during your lunch hour. And we're going to talk about him. He's a good friend of mine, somebody you can talk to and pick up the phone and call. But I'm going to see if you guys did it, and we're going to talk about it at 1 o'clock.
Well, can you repeat that again? Ali what?
Sure. His name is Ali, A-L-I, Reda, R-E-D-A, and it's Fox News. So you're going to type into YouTube, Ali Reda, Fox News, and then you'll see the piece come up. And it's about a 2 or 3 minute video that's on there. And I want you guys to watch that and see that's pretty exciting. So, and that's something very, very recent. Very recent. And that just gives you an idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to sky's the limit. How much sky's the limit your income and your potential really actually is. You don't know that until you actually try and see it and do it. So the biggest thing is, how do you get paid, right? So we all want to know that. So I'm going to try to break this down to you. Now, in New Jersey, it's a little bit different, but here we talked about, let's see, somebody put the link in there. Awesome. Appreciate that, Jose. So, and I will give this so everybody can see, A-L-I, R-E-D-A. So I just typed it in there so everybody can see it on there. Alley Radio, Fox News. So how do you get paid in the car business? Is it the number one income in the world is commission. And I can name off everybody. Everybody here, Warren Buffett, right? You shake your head if you heard of Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett, one of the richest guys on the planet, Steve Jobs, even though he's gone, Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, Damon Johns. I mean, the list could go on and on. If you're in entertainment, if you make movies for a living, if you make music for a living, all those people are not on salary. All those people are on commission because they truly want to get paid what they are worth. And that's the only way you're really, really going to make money, is not having a capped income and having a captive audience. And that's one thing that you guys will have, is both of those, a captive audience and an uncapped income. So how we do that is by going on commission. Doesn't mean if you don't sell a car, you still get paid, okay? Because we have what's called a draw against your commission. Our base rate here, as in Houston, like I think I've told everybody, I'm still working on my last score from last 2 weeks. Yes. Anyway, like I was saying, I lost my train of thought for a second there. Somebody had a question, but yes, like Wilfredo Rivera, to answer your question, yes. So what we do to make sure you're a captive audience and everything else is, like here in Houston, you're going to get a $13 an hour base. And I think I've told everybody that when you're interviewing, your base pay is $13 an hour, or your commission, whichever's higher. So this way, if something happens, you don't sell a car, you're always going to get paid. New Jersey has the same thing. I'm not sure what the hourly rate is. You have to get with them, but they have the same thing. Everybody's on a draw against your commission. So just in case something happens, your deal doesn't get booked, whatever, you're never going to go a pay period without money. Not going to happen. Everybody understand that? Yes. Juwan? Yep. You guys got it. Okay. Angelo? Okay, good. So that's just how that operates. Now, here in Houston, after you're here 90 days, then you qualify and you get full benefits. Everybody gets full benefits. We have health insurance, medical, dental, the whole deal. Everybody gets that after 90 days. Our pay periods, you get paid 3 times a month. In New Jersey, I believe you get paid weekly. Over here in Houston, you get paid on the 10th, the 15th, and the 30th of every single month. Somebody lost me. Let's just see. Sorry, hold on one second, guys.
Yeah, that's a weird schedule. Okay.
Now, that's just that on the pay. Everybody get that as far as that's concerned. You're going to get paid 3 times a month, the 10th, the 15th, the 30th. Your first month out, you're going to get paid on the 15th and the 30th, and then your bonuses come on the 10th. And I'm going to break down how the pay works in just a second. Schedule-wise, right now, everybody's open from 9 to 6. New Jersey and Houston are open from 9 to 6. Monday through Saturday, everybody's closed on Sunday. Eventually, those hours are going to go back to normal, and hopefully the sooner the better. I do not believe that in the month of July that's going to happen. I believe, hopefully, in the month of August. But I believe in July will continue just like June has, due to the spike in COVID, unfortunately. The schedule, the normal schedule, is we have here at the Toyota stores, we have 5 different teams, okay? We have an A, B, C, D, and E team. Each one of those teams is head by a team leader. For example, here we have David, we have Carlos, we have Billy, we have Sig. You know, we have different managers that have their particular teams, and you're going to be assigned to one of them. On a normal basis, you might be working one day from 9 to 5. One day you may come in from 12 to 6. One day you may come to close, and then you're typically going to have a day off during the week, a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday plus Sunday. So normally you're going to be scheduled for a 40-hour work week or 5 days a week. But I will tell you you know, in this business, it's an aggressive business, obviously, in the right way, not the wrong way. So you're going to be spending probably 50 to 60 hours a week working more than just doing 40. Can you eventually get to just working 40 hours a week and make the money you want to make? Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is possible. But to start off doing your first year, it's probably not going to happen. The reality is you're going to work probably 60 hours a week. That's going to be reality. Hopefully the person I lost, let's see. Okay. So any questions about that or the schedule? Any questions about the schedule, you raise your hand and or speak.
I don't have a question about the schedule, but sort of like the hourly rate, you said it's different in New Jersey than in Houston. So
No.
is that something I'm gonna have to find out from Bobby Neal?
No, I'm telling you right now, Jersey's the same. It's 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday.
Oh no, I was talking about the hourly rate before you.
Oh yeah. I think he does a flat. So you're gonna ask. Yeah, I think he does a flat. You'll ask him.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'll try to find out today for you anyway. Maybe I'll get it.
Gotcha.
And find out for the up there.
All right.
We have someone adjusting their camera with their phone unmuted. If we could get them to mute their phone, it's cutting off everyone's audio. There we go.
Yep. You guys just mute yourselves until you want to speak and then speak. Okay. So now, even though I don't have the board to show you, there we go. So, I don't have the board to show you. I'm going to try to break down the pay. You guys can still see the shared screen, right? It shows you how you get paid, right? Good. Okay. Thanks, Adam. So how this operates is you get paid 5 to 6 different ways. So first of all, you have your commission that's on what we call the front end of the car, okay? Which is the car itself. So in other words, if this was the car, I'm getting paid on this. Now we have this on the other side, okay? Oh, is that an Astros cup? Yes, it is. If you see this on the other side, this, let's say, is the financing part. So you get paid on both ends. You get paid on the front end of the deal, what we call, and you get paid in the banking and finance department. At these Toyota stores, your commission structure is 13%. And I think I've told most of you that. What that means is you take the front end money that you made and the back end money that you made, you glue them together, including anything else that is part of that car deal, the total gross profit, that's the number that you get instead of it being split differently. So that's the number that you get from the total package.
Quick question, Don, not to cut you off. I have a question.
Sure.
For the Toyota, Dodge, Jeep, are any of the companies giving off spiffs? All of them are? So you'll get something from them as well? Plus
I haven't got to that yet.
Gotcha. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's fine. But yes, so you get paid on the front end, you get paid on the back end. Then you have bonuses. So, you know, the Dodge is going to be different than Toyota, but they both have their bonus structures. When it here, we have different bonuses because we're paying such a large percentage of the total profit. They don't give unit bonuses, but there's other bonuses that come involved. At Dodge, they do have unit bonuses, I believe, starting at 10 or 12 and goes up to 22. Different unit bonuses. But when you break it down, you know, it runs out to the same thing. The secondary thing that they do here, which is a big plus, is they do spiffs. So every weekend usually comes out on a Friday and Saturday. You know, just for example, let's say I tell Candace, say, okay, Candace, if you sell 3 cars today, or this weekend you're going to get an extra $500 bonus. They're called spiffs. Both stores, both organizations are very big on that. They spend an ungodly amount of money every single weekend in spiffs. That is what we call cash in fist. So usually Monday or that day Saturday at the close of business, they're paying out $100 bills to all the different programs they put on. You know, here they play a game which is like a beanbag game. They throw it, you get it in the hole, you get $50. They got all kinds of different things that we do to make things fun and so everybody can earn some extra cash. Then you also have manufactured bonuses too. Every year, whether it's Toyota or Dodge or whoever comes out, they all have different bonuses that come from you. They're called spins. What that means is when you sell a car, it goes into what's called a retail delivery report. You'll hear the acronym RDR. So when a car gets RDR'd in your name, it means it gets reported to the factory. If they're paying bonus money on that car, the factory will do two things. One, they're going to issue you a prepaid Visa card, or two, they're going to cut you a check and send it to the dealership. And it could be anywhere from $50. I've seen them as high as $1,000 in additional bonus money for that one particular unit. And that pays out throughout the year. So you get finance income, you get income off the front end, you get spiffs, you get bonuses, and you get manufacturer's income. So in reality, you get 5 different ways that you could get paid on one car deal. Will that happen 100% of the time? Mostly, yes. Except when it comes to the manufacturer's part, that is seasonal. It depends. Like here we have Toyotathon. Usually during Toyotathon and during the truck months, you know, that's when that transpires. With Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, they'll have bonuses on Jeep or bonuses on Ram. I've seen a lot more stuff on Ram or different things like that if you sold a Hellcat or whatever else. So anybody have any questions when it comes to the money part in this area? Now's the time to ask.
What did you say the RDR was?
It's called a retail delivery report.
Okay, gotcha.
How would KPI affect this situation? Would it affect your pay if you have a negative KPI?
What's KPI?
Your performance indicator, your key performance indicators.
Oh, okay. We call that, and that's a good. This is Zachary, right?
Joseph.
Joseph. Okay. So Joseph, so we call that CSI. It's CSI. Yeah, it's customer service index is what we call it. Okay. And your customer service index absolutely 100% will affect your pay. That is your report card. It's your responsibility, just like we've been talking about, to make sure the customer is 100% taken care of, 100% satisfied and happy. And if there's some reason that they're not, we need to know immediately so we can fix the situation. We don't want bad surveys, okay? You always have to be at what we call at region or zone level, whatever their numbers are. So, and they'll be able to tell you, like I think Toyota's at, 94.5, whether it's region as far as their satisfaction rate. You have to be at that number or higher to make sure you get your bonuses or keep your bonuses. Otherwise, it will have a negative impact on your pay. Yes, it will. Okay. To what extent? I don't know. You may not qualify for spiffs for the weekend, or they may take a bonus away from you, or it could be something very possible. Zachary, did you have something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did. So for each car, we get $250 for each car, basically.
No. What I said is what I used was a national average of $350 per car.
Oh, okay. Cool. I got it.
What your per car is, what I broke down in Houston, is about $414 is what the average that we make per car in Houston, based upon the statistical information coming from NADA. Okay. And in New Jersey, it's a little bit higher. It's 510. And it's just that populated area of within 25 miles of Woodbury. Okay. That's not the tri-state area. The tri-state area is a little bit lower. Okay. Can anybody tell me what the highest producing volume state is?
Is it California?
Yes, California. California sells the most amount of cars out of any state. Secondary to that would be Texas. And after that would be the tri-state area and then Florida. Then everybody kind of falls in line after that. Any other questions when it comes to pay or scheduling? No? Raise your hand or just speak up, unmute yourself and speak up. Candace, did you have anything?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So do we get paid if pay the base pay if we work more than 40 hours a week? Like you said, we'll basically work more than 50 hours a week.
Typically, no, you know, but well, I shouldn't say that because it's based upon your hours that you punch in, because you have to clock in and clock out every day. You know, usually your first week or two, if you're putting in a lot of time, usually it's not anything said, but the reality is you're probably, after your first 2 weeks, you're probably never going to hit your base pay. It would be kind of hard to do that, especially in these two stores here in Houston have an enormous amount of volume. So for you to hit that, you couldn't be selling cars. So, because I mean, the reality is, sell one, it should trump your base pay for the week. And that's reality. Because if you add up the hours at $13 an hour, you're looking at roughly, you know, $400 to $500 a week. And you should easily, if you sold 2 cars, you're going to make more than that. You should make $1,000, right? So then you wouldn't get the base, you would just get your commission.
Okay.
So, and I would say 9 out of 10 people, that's where they end up. So if you look at our example on the board, if you can see that, how everything's timed out and what your draws and your bonuses and everything else, where you're looking at. I know it says on the screen 250 because it's an old slide. That's probably hasn't been updated in about 10 years. So we got to probably fix that. So spiffs, bonuses, incentives that we've talked about of what we can get and what we can't get. Any questions in this particular area?
I have a question.
Sure.
So pretty much that's saying if you don't sell, for some reason, if you don't sell anything in 1 week, that's when that base pay comes in?
Yes.
Okay, so if you sell a car, then you don't get the base pay, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, the first 2 weeks that your employment, maybe even 3 weeks, we really just we don't count any of that against you or anything else because you're learning and doing. But the reality is when you put in your income of what you wanted to make and you times it out or how many cars you're going to sell, we're not looking to take anything away from you. So we want to make the most amount of money.
Okay.
Okay. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So you've got to remember the whole goal here, okay, is for you to make the most amount of money you can. Are you going to do that in your first 30 days? No, you're not. I would love for you to be able to do that and come out of the gate swinging and sell, 25 or 30 cars your first month, but that's not reality. The reality is if you can accomplish 10 to 12 in your first month, number one, you will definitely make more money than you should have ever made before. If not, it should be something that you have made before, at least that amount of money. And that's going to be a very good goal. And we're going to get into goals and everything else. And what I want you to understand is I want you, when we do your goals, is they need to be achievable. They don't need to be things that are pie in the sky or unrealistic. Goals are meant to be achieved and to be rewarded. So whatever goal that you guys are going to put together for yourself, there needs to be a reward for that goal of whatever it is. Let's say you want to buy yourself a new Xbox. Great. How much money is that going to take? And that's the goal and then the reward. So you got to keep that in mind because that's important. But yes, going back to it, if you look on the screen, if you want to make more money, sell one more car, sell one half of a car, split a deal with somebody. And that's going to just increase your income that much more, because the averages that I've given you of that 350 are really kind of low, on the low side, especially for the Houston stores, because you got to remember you're getting 13% of the total picture, and that's a large number. So to be honest with you, if you, I'm going to just hit my calculator here. Okay. So let's just say, because the average finance income runs about $2,400 a car, and the average front end income runs about $1,400. So if you did that on itself at 13%, you're looking at the low side before you get anything else, $500. So if you sold $499 times, if you sold just 4 cars a week, you're already making $1,900 a week at just selling 4 out of a 6-day week. You're not even selling 1 a day. And if you were in another different style store, let's say it was lower volume, maybe sold 150, 200 cars a month, I can get that and say, hey, you know what, maybe it might be a little difficult for you to try to sell 4 or 5. When you got 10 other salespeople, your situation is going to be a little different. In this situation, you're not even close to that. You're talking about a store that's volume is, 800 to 1,000 plus vehicles a month. And the other store, 500 to 700. And now with COVID, no, those numbers are not there, but they were there before COVID, and they're starting to hit that up. They're starting to ramp back up that way. That's why we're hoping in August we get back to normal operating hours. And no, we're not inundated with salespeople. That's why you guys are being part of our crew. And New Jersey's the same thing. New Jersey, they basically, the 5 or 7 of you that are being hired, besides 3 other people, you're the crew. You're it. So any other questions when it comes to bonuses or spiffs?
Yeah, I have a question. So we're guaranteed the hourly rate, and are we also guaranteed that draw? So is it hourly rate plus a draw?
No, it's the same thing. You just word it differently,
Okay.
but it's the same thing.
Okay.
That's the same thing. The draw or the hourly, it's the same thing. It's just different wording. Some places, like in New Jersey, you get a $500 a week draw or
Right.
hours, and it's the same. It's the same thing.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Adam Schultz, did you have a question?
I did not. Sorry.
Okay.
I have a question. Hello.
Yeah.
So you said something about an assist, like selling half a car. How does that work? I'm assuming that you greet somebody and then hand them off to somebody that you're on your team, or how does that work?
Yeah. What happens is what we call split deals are actually very common. What happens is, let's say you just happen to get 2 customers in at one time. So when you do, you can't take care of 2 people at one time. So you give one off to the other salesperson, and then you guys will split that deal and split that commission. So your numbers will always have halves. So, you might sell 10 and a half cars or 15 and a half or 22 and a half. That half a unit represents that you split a deal with another salesperson for whatever the reason is.
Okay, I guess my question now is, what's the definition of your customer? Is that someone that just walked up to you, or is that someone that's personally on your role, or what are we talking here?
All of the above. So let's say
Okay.
you talk to somebody, let's say you, as you will learn to do, you do in some social media videos and different things like that, and somebody came in to ask for you, and you were not here, you were off that day, and you didn't know they were coming in. Another salesman sold them the car because you generated that customer, that's your customer,
Okay.
and it belongs to you. So you get half that deal even though you're not even on it. Or let's just say, you were walking out the front door and you ran into a customer, and it belonged to another salesman. You find out that the salesman's not here, so you decided to help the customer and sold it. You got to give half to that guy.
Okay, cool.
There's many, many different situations that attest to that, how you would split.
Okay.
Could be something simple, everything's gone right in a car deal, and you just can't close the deal. Your manager can't close the deal, The next thing you know, you go see Adam and say, hey, Adam, do me a favor, man. Can you go talk to this customer and see what's up and see what he needs to do to close the deal? Adam may walk over to him and talk to him for 5 minutes, and the guy say, yeah, okay, I'll buy it. Well, you gave half your deal to Adam. That's how that works.
Now, how is that applied? Like, is it like just someone like write it down, or like is it just mentioned, or?
It goes into computer system, becomes part of permanent record. So
Okay, cool.
it goes into finance. You have an employee number with your name. Everybody's going to have an employee number with their name, and your employee number, here they happen to start with 977, and then your last three is your employee number. So you would put your employee number on the car deal. The other guy puts his employee number on the car deal, and they're split. Simple as that.
Okay, cool.
The computer system, and it's goes up to payroll that way. Everything's followed through that number. But they'll explain to you that in HR orientation.
Okay.
Does the Jersey store have delivery coordinators?
No.
They don't. So you're doing your own. Everyone's doing their own. Okay, gotcha.
Yep, 100%.
Delivery coordinators actually help you because then you can move forward on.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
And both the Houston stores have delivery coordinators.
Wait, okay. Stupid question. What's a delivery coordinator?
There are no stupid questions. So a delivery coordinator is a person that their job, when you're done selling the car, they come out of finance, the car gets detailed, gets a full tank of gas. It goes into what we call a clean area, which is inside our garage. And then we do a delivery, which in other words, the customer sits in there, we program their phone, download their contacts. We give them a once over, usually it's of the interior of the car, on how all the features and benefits works, so they fully understand how to use their vehicle when they leave. Now, some of you may say, what do you mean use their vehicle? It sounds stupid, but it's not. The technology that we have in 2020 and 21, absolutely trumps anything that we've ever had before. With Apple CarPlay, the navigation apps, gasless gas caps. For me, it was strange. When I left my Ford store, I took an F-150 with me. Put gas in it, and it had no gas cap. I was pissed. I was like, I went and yelled at my friend. I drove that car back. I said, Lamont, what'd you do to me, man? I said, you didn't even check this car. Don't have a damn gas cap. He looked at me, and I can't tell you the choice words that he used. And he said, I can't believe you own this damn place. And he opened the gas cap. He said, what does that say? And he told me it's a gas. We have gas. We're gas capless now. And me being in business, really? I didn't even realize that. So I felt like a fool. Of course, I told him. I said, I was just testing you to see if you knew your product knowledge.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
But yeah, no, it's a thing. There's
most Ford products now.
What's that?
Most Ford products now.
Yeah,
a lot of.
Is that a Ford exclusive thing, or is that just like a lot of 2020 products?
Nah, Chevy has them too.
Chevy has it as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go into that.
Acura also has them.
It's been going on for a few years.
Yeah, so they all do them. So there's a lot of different technology. So a delivery coordinator, they go over all that car. Pretty much what you're going to do on your walk around, that's 45 minutes. They're going to do in about 15 or 20 minutes and just kind of touch on all the edges and make sure they know how to use everything, the keyless entry, the remote start, maybe the heads up display, the parking assist, they could have, God, I'm forgetting the name of that thing when, braking assist that they have. Also, I forgot the Toyota Safety Sense. You guys want to read up on that? The Toyota Safety Sense that they have. All these different features, they go over the delivery coordinators. Now, those of you who don't have that, you're just basically going to do a mini walk around once again to make sure that they understand the product, because that's going to be a CSI thing, because that's going to be a question on the survey. That's your report card that the customer is going to get is, hey, did your salesperson go over, these particular items at your delivery? And one thing you're going to learn is you're going to introduce every customer to the service department, to the service advisor. You're going to give them a tour of the dealership. All these different aspects is going to be part of your job to give them.
Okay, cool.
Okay. But you're going to learn that. And in this area here, it's a little bit, you're going to have it a little bit more, you're going to have it a little easier because you have that, but that's not going to get you out of knowing the information that you have to know, because, you know, if you have a busy Saturday where we sell, you know, 65, 70 vehicles, you got one delivery guy. So he's not going to get to all of them. And he goes pretty good and goes pretty fast. And he usually gets it right. But just in case, you got to deliver your own car. You got to know your stuff. So, and remember this. And these three things you guys need to write down. You need to remember, because it's going to be part of your training all next week, and you're going to get with it. One thing is your product knowledge, your inventory, and the process. Those three things are going to be your everything. The process, the product knowledge, and your inventory. Those three things are going to be the key things to your success, 100%. Trust me, it's not the math. It's not the payments. It's not knowing the money. It's not asking anybody how their credit is. It's not asking somebody how much they want to pay, how much their down payment is. None of that matters. Trust me when I tell you, it's irrelevant. What matters is the three things I just told you what they are: product knowledge, the process, and your inventory. Those are the three things you're going to get down. And I'm going to teach you how you're going to get all those in what order so you master it. And you know what? You'll be able to master it within inside of 30 days. And that's the difference. It's going to set you worlds apart from other dealerships. Now, you're going to have homework this weekend, okay? It's going to be very simple. It's not going to be very complicated. But I need you guys to write this all down. And we're not going to cover it in the afternoon session, but I want to give it to you now so I don't forget, because I got a lot of material to cover. So please write this down. Number one, in your prospective area, I need you to pick out a car. So those of you who work Toyota, it's Toyota. Those of you in Dodge, is Dodge. I want you to pick out a vehicle that you like, and I want you to give me a maximum 60-second presentation on that car. Now, what I mean is this. If you don't have this particular vehicle, you could use any car in the background as a prop. If you go into the YouTube channel and look at the video communication part, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So what you're going to create on your iPhone, and I'm going to give you some tips, in landscape mode, you're going to sell me that car. And how you're going to start it out is with these words, is how familiar are you with? Those are the words you're going to tell me. How familiar are you with? So it's going to go just like this. So let's say Adam Schultz. You'll say, okay, so Don, how familiar are you with the 2020 Toyota Corolla? My answer is irrelevant. And you're going to say, okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about the 2020 Corolla. It gets 35 miles to the gallon on the city, 25 miles a gallon on the highway. It's 5-star crash rating. You're going to give me the warranty. You're going to give me the safety rating. You're going to give me the fuel economy, and one thing that stands out about that vehicle. And you have 60 seconds or less to tell me what that is. You need to do it by video on your phone. Look at the video communications that are in my YouTube. You'll understand the format. And then I want you to email that to me or text it to me, whatever works, sometime during the weekend. And if y'all do that shit at 1 o'clock in the morning, I am going to hurt you. Okay? So do it during normal business hours. All right? Normal business hours. I've gotten them at 3 o'clock in the morning before, drunk. Other people drunk, not me.
Are you Jake from State Farm?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not wearing khakis either. So just make sure you do that, okay? And that's going to be your homework you're going to do this weekend. Also, the second thing is your demographic information, okay? The demographic information is part of your homework. So your zip code, where you live currently right now, in the zip code that the store is in, okay, I want you to tell me, number one, what is the medium income in that zip code? What is the dominant person? In other words, we're going to racial profile. So I want to know what is the dominant race and what is the dominant gender. It could be male or female. So what I want to know is you tell me in zip code, 08578 or whatever it is. In this particular zip code, we have a white $50,000 a year. So I want to know who it is in your zip code and the home zip code, who that person is, and what your opinion is. What do you think that person, based upon that demographic information, would buy and why? So those are the two things. You're going to study one product. Now, where are you going to get the information for the product? So those of you are going to go not on our website. You're going to go to toyota.com, okay? Or you're going to go to, let's say you're going to pick out a Ram. You're going to go to I believe it's ram.com now instead of dodge.com. Or if you're going to do a Challenger or a Charger, you're going to make sure you go to that website. That's number one. Number two, you're going to be able to get it, believe it or not, they have generation information. You're going to get it off of Wikipedia. Look in Wikipedia. And the third place is Edmunds.com, EDU, MONDS, Edmunds.com. And Edmunds.com has a matrix, and you want to look at the matrix, has statistical information. If you ever want to know what fuel economy and how they compare, the website is fueleconomy.gov. And I'm going to type that in here so everybody can see it. So fuel economy, great, I spelled economy wrong, sorry. But fueleconomy.gov is what you're looking at, okay? That gives you the ratings on every car since the beginning of time that you can compare to. So if somebody's comparing a Corolla to a Camry or whatever, you can put them side by side, and right there on your screen, you can have 4 comparisons, and that is the government website. The other thing is on the websites is the safety crash rating, the IIHS, which is, and they also have the IHNTS, and you can go on both of those websites, and that will tell you what the safety rating is, and you can actually watch the crash test videos. Which, as soon as I figure out this weekend how to do that, we're going to watch some crash test ratings and videos. You know, those of you who are looking at Dodge, or in general looking at Dodge, the Dodge Ram from 2016 down was the worst rated vehicle in the history of man, okay? You might have been safer in, what do you call those little cardboard go-karts that you would race, like a soapbox derby thing? You would have been safer in one of those. But if you had a head-on collision in a Dodge Ram that's a 2016 or older, you're dead. But now their rating went from 0 to almost a 5-star rating on that truck. So that truck's a contender again. So you want to know that, because a lot of people knew about the safety rating on that and steered away from those years of that truck. And now the Dodge got a new, the Ram's got a new look, and it's badass. I mean, it's just simple as. It's nice. Now, I wouldn't take it over a Tundra, but it's still a nice truck. So, sorry, Briley. Sorry about that. You might want to trade it in. So, the website for the safety rating, again, is IIHS. And thank you, Adam Finch, for putting that out there. There's also another one that's the IHNTS also. So Randy just put that up there, and thank you, Randy, for doing that. So, and look them and do your research. Do your research. Just like if you were buying a product, do your research on that stuff, okay? You guys can chat with each other and talk and do that, okay? Okay, you got, yep, safety rating, fuel economy, and the warranty. Don't forget the warranty. So you got safety rating, fuel economy, the warranty, and also one thing that stands out to you personally about that car. Okay, not what I want, what stands out about that vehicle. You can pick anything. Those of you who are at Performance, pick anything that Performance sells. Those of you who work at Toyota, pick anything at Toyota, it doesn't matter. But it has to be something that is for sale. So it can't be a next year concept vehicle. It can't be a used vehicle. It has to be a brand new 2020 or 21 vehicle. Got that? And do the videos. So, and please send them to me. Just to clarify, I can see it written all over Clinton's face right now. The hours that you could do this in, that you can send them to me, are between 9 and 5, Saturday or Sunday. And do it by email or by sending me a text message. This
Eastern
is
or Central?
What's that?
Eastern or Central?
Oh man. Central time. Central time.
Gotcha.
All right. My phone number. This is my cell phone number. Ready? Is 832-515-5911. Okay? 832-515-5911. Do me a favor and please try and email it. And don't forget, we're going to take a break for lunch here in about a half an hour. So please don't forget to email me. You got my email address. I need your cell phone number and your email address because I am going to, so we don't have a problem getting logged back in at 1 o'clock. I'm going to email everybody the link for the 1 o'clock, and I'm also going to send it in a text. But I'm going to send it in both ways, but I want to make sure so nobody has a problem logging back on, okay? So please make sure you do that once we log off here and take a lunch break. Yep, 832-515-5911. Thank you for doing that, Randy. No, and the demographic part is not going to be on video, okay? The demographic part is just something I'm going to ask each and every one of you on Monday. The app to do the presentation, you're just going to do it right off of your phone. Just do it in video mode. Now, I will tell you, we do have some, go onto YouTube and you'll see the video communication part and look how these other students have done there. There's roughly 200 videos on there, so you'll see how they did it. The apps, if you want to look for an app, the best apps that I've seen, if you have an iPhone, obviously is going to be Clips or iMovie. But I have found some good apps, and I'm going to tell you what they are real quick. You have Power Director is one. Another one is called Kind, K-I-N-E, Master. And the other one is called Quick, Q-U-I-K. Those three apps plus the normal apps that you have on your phone are just fine. Those are just fine. No issues using those. Okay. Any questions on that?
I have a question. Well, I was just going to ask you a question. What about the camera year 2020? Do you want to know what inside the presentation? I got the warranty, the safety rating, and what stands out to me. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, and one more thing is the gas mileage.
Okay, gas mileage. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, so you have 4 things in total. You have the warranty, you have the gas mileage, the safety rating, and one thing that stands out to you particularly.
Where are we watching the demo videos of this?
On the YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
You just kind of look under the playlists area and you'll see, it says video communication. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, and you'll see the different ones. And the sweet spot, and yes, you're going to use your phone, your camera on your phone, your microphone on your phone, and everything you're going to do off your phone. You're going to learn how to turn your phone into your little Steven Spielberg app, okay? And you're going to get real good at this over the next week because everything we're going to communicate with is going to be through video because that's the new way of the world. So I want you to learn how to use your camera and use it the right way. But as a tip, so we don't everybody does it, everybody listen up. You want to make sure you're using landscape mode only, okay? And if you want to get creative, where you can put the logo of the store in there is great. Otherwise, look at what other people have done. There's some good ones and some bad ones in there, and I left them all the same so you could decipher the difference on your own. I didn't tag them. So you could see the people who did them bad and the people who did them good, and you could get really creative and really cool with it. But the sweet spot is 45 seconds, okay? Maximum is 60 seconds. If you're 1 second over, it's disqualified. So make sure you watch the timer and make sure you do it correctly. And it's the first one, so nobody fails, okay? Just to let you know, okay? And this isn't a test. This is just as part of your homework. And again, the demographics, you're just writing that down. and I'm going to ask you for the information. But I only want you to dial the demographics down to one thing. I want to know who's the dominant race, what's the dominant gender, and what's the median income. Those three things in your area and the area of the store, and what vehicle do you think would fit that person? Okay, everybody got that one? Okay. Any questions on this so far? New? Okay. Let me see. I got Renee behind me. Yeah, John, go ahead.
Please, can you repeat the names of the apps, please?
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So besides just using your phone, whether you have an Android or an iPhone,
okay,
it is absolutely perfect. I use some apps. I do use some apps. Sometimes I use this, but these let me just tell you what they are again. First one, which is a little complicated to use, is called Power Director.
Okay, I got that.
Okay. The second one is called Quick. It's Q-U-I-K.
Okay, I got that.
The third one is called Kine Master. It's K-I-N-E Master, M-A-S-T-E-R.
Okay, thank you.
Those three I have found to be the most useful if you don't want to use your phone. But I just use my regular phone to make it. And then what I'll go in there is I'll edit it and just put some text in there. So the best way to have this done is if in the bottom left-hand corner, if possible, you can have your name and your phone number in that throughout the whole video. And in the right-hand corner here, okay, if you can have the name or the logo of the dealership in there, that would be the best format to always keep, and no other information. And those two sections should be filled 100% of the time. If you don't figure out how to do that between now and over this weekend, don't sweat it. I want you freaking out over it, okay? You're going to learn, and we're going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to do that during the week anyway. I just want to be able to see you do it on your own at first. But I do want to just implore you that landscape mode is the #1 way. Now, let's get into that just a little bit. When you get into that, #1, you could use a selfie stick is the easiest way. #2, they make these little tiny tripods. You could buy both of these at, any dollar store or Five Below or anything like that. They have them. They're real cheap. And if you don't want to spend the money, you could use a stapler and a rubber band. A stapler that has a rubber bottom, and just rubber band your phone to it and put your phone on the timer and then do it. And then walk over and shut it off when you're done, and then just edit it. That's all. And that's all you have to do. You literally will take you less than a minute to knock it out, because this is something you're going to be doing all the time. So any other questions on that, John, or anybody else?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Anybody else?
And there's examples on the YouTube channel, correct?
Yeah, there's literally 200 examples on there.
Okay.
Literally, and you can watch them and see how they're made and done. Like I said, some of them are good and some of them are bad. I didn't decipher the difference on personal. It's for you. Watch it and see how it is. Like I see some of you on camera right now, and some of you are centered and some of you are not. But if you look, like if I adjust my camera just a little bit here, you can see that I'm sitting in the dead middle of the camera from my height and to the bottom, how much space is above my head, right? And that I'm looking straight in the camera. So I'm easy to see. If you're not centered perfectly, or if I'm looking up your nose, or something like that, that's going to be distracting. You don't want to have any downward or upward angles. The screen needs to be, your adjustment needs to be dead straight on in the middle. Okay, and it's the sooner you learn that, the better off you're going to be, because it's going to make your video more adaptable. And you'll see that in the videos, and you'll see people doing it wrong. And then those of you who speak more than one language, I'm going to ask you during the week. If you want to do it now, that's fine. Do them. If you speak 3 languages, make 3 different videos. Speak 2 languages, make 2 different videos. So whatever languages you speak, do it. Okay? Any questions on that? And I don't care. You can make the subtitle. You can put in subtitles if you want. You can put whatever it is. Like those of you who speak Spanish, do the whole video in Spanish and do one in English, because it's going to be relevant, believe it or not. And I'll explain that to you why a little bit later on as we get into it on Monday. And one of the things also on your email address, I'm going to email you the material you would normally get in class. Okay? So I'm going to put, that's why I'm asking you to do. It's going to take me a while to put all your email addresses together, but I'm going to email you our guest sheet and some other paperwork that you have that's going to be for your learning ability. Okay. That you'll have. If I don't do it this afternoon, you will have it for Monday, but I'm going to try to do it for this afternoon's class. So I'll email you the paperwork. You can print it out or leave it up on your screen. It's going to be up to you. But one of the things that we're going to be able to do is going to be role playing and practicing. We're going to be doing it one way or another on the screen. We'll figure it out. So in fact, I might give that project to Clinton. So, anyway, Cheyenne, do you have any questions?
No, sir, I'm good. You've answered all of them.
Okay. Dustin?
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay.
I was actually watching the YouTube video.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, because you sent me the text message with the link to it, so.
Awesome. Homework format. Well, there's only 2 homeworks you have, right? One is you're going to make a product video. Okay. And the other homework you have is to do demographics. So it's just 2 things. And the only thing you're going to email to me is your product video. And if you have them in different languages, email them to me in different languages. But that's it. And I'm not looking for perfection, and you cannot fail. So don't worry about it. I want you to do it as natural as you're proud. Go ahead, Ali, with your question.
So say I don't know how to speak Spanish, right? Would it be more beneficial if I made like a separate video with the Spanish voiceover?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No. No, you're only going to make a video in a different language if you speak that language. If you just speak English, that's it. That's all you're going to do it in English. That's it. Those of you who speak other languages, it's beneficial to you to do that. Cheyenne? Or I'm sorry, Ali.
No, I got you. I understand.
Okay. Yeah. Don't try to embellish it, because what'll happen is if somebody thinks that you speak Spanish, next thing you know, they're going to respond to you on that video, because this video is going to your customers. It's not just going to be put up someplace. This is how you're going to communicate with somebody you're talking to about a car. So if you send it to them in Spanish and they send you some questions back in Spanish, you're going to be like, uh-oh, now what? So it's going to be bad. So again, if some of you are asking, where to send the videos to, again, you're going to send it to my email or my cell phone. And again, my email, if you didn't write it down, is my name. It's Don Diamond and the number 24 at Gmail. And my phone number, and here I'm gonna send it to everybody's going to have it in this text. Everybody can see the group chat, right? So I just sent it out again, my email and my, phone number, okay?
Hey, Don, real quick, in the stores, as far as dress code is concerned, shirt, tie, or do they have polo shirts with logos on them or anything like that we can get as well?
Yes, and that's a great question. So Ruben, the information on the second job, I'm not sure I get that, but I'm going to have you speak here in just a second. But to answer your question, yes, you're always going to dress, whether you're male or female, you're going to dress professional from the waist down 100% of the time, unless you get permission otherwise from your manager that you could dress differently. But from the waist up, you can wear, I know here at the Toyota stores, you can wear a dress shirt and a name tag. You don't have to wear a tie, but a lot of people here wear suits and ties and dress up very well. Or you can wear the company logo shirts. At Performance, it's the same deal. You can wear the Dodge shirts, Chrysler, whatever. And let me tell you something, guys, to be brutally honest with you, I don't care where you're at. Wear a male or female polo shirt, okay? Wear the company logo shirts or whatever else. Most of them nowadays are all dry fit. You don't have to take them to a dry cleaner. You don't have to incur an extra bill. You can wash them, hang them up. They dry in 15 minutes, and they're a lot more breathable. And trust me, if you live here in Houston, our temperature is a little off the chain. So you're going to want to be wearing that every day. It'll be to your benefit. And up in the Northeast, it's as hot as we do, but it's a lot more breathable, and you're going to be a lot more comfortable wearing that kind of stuff. Okay. But great question. And yes, you can wear hats too, just as long as they are company logoed hats. You can do that too. So they'll allow you to do that.
Quick question. Will Toyota, will they give us those shirts, or do we have to buy them ourselves?
I believe, and don't hold me accountable in case I'm wrong, okay, is the first 2 shirts you get are free. The other ones you'll have to, but we have, oh my God, I mean, we really have a lot of clothing. I mean, Toyota has a logo on everything: umbrellas, chairs, backpacks, briefcases, shoes. You can buy Toyota sneakers. I mean, you name it, they got everything. And you know what? Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep has that same thing. They brand everything. So you can find all the material you want. You got it. I am not sure what Performance's policy on as far as the shirts are concerned. I have no idea. But I know none of them are expensive. I don't think anybody has a shirt over $20 unless you're getting like the bowling shirts or stuff like that are different. And I think the range is between $18 to $30. Pretty much universally the same. And you know what? You could get your own. You want to buy your own, go on Amazon, buy a logo on it. They don't care. You could throw a Toyota emblem on one or Dodge, Ram, Jeep on another one, whatever you want, whatever works for you. Okay? Any more questions in that area or anything else so far that we covered this morning?
Yeah, quick question. So for the videos that come in 2 different languages, do we send both videos in the same email, or would it be 2 separate?
Well, I don't know if it'll take or not. It'd probably be better to send it separately. But if it fits and it allows you to send it through, that's great. If it doesn't, just send 2 emails. It's okay. And just make sure in the subject line you put your name, and then just put video 1 or video 2, video 3, whatever it is.
Perfect. Gotcha.
So, and yes, they are going to be uploaded on YouTube so you guys could all see them. That'll be the easiest format. That's why we do that. Okay. And Ruben Leal. You there, Ruben? You can unmute yourself. And
yeah, I see. I'm here. I have one question about the second homework of the information you asked.
The demographics?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need statistics of the consumer or the people he want, what type of car use. This is the question.
The question is, I mean, to answer your question, and Gracie, you'll go next, okay, is the demographics. What you're going to do is look up your zip code. The easiest way is to Google it. Google in these words, right, demographic breakdown of zip code, whatever your zip code, 77429 or whatever it is, okay? And then it'll pull that up. And then from there, you could kind of break it down, and you're going to want to find out what the dominant gender, race, and medium income, those 3 things, okay? And after Gracie will be Chris Arredondo, ask your questions. But those are the 3 things. And then based on that information, what car do you think you could sell that person? What do you think, based upon the information you find out, what do you think they'll buy? That's what I want to know. Okay? And go ahead, please.
Okay, so this goes back to the dress code policy, but at the moment, I don't know if you recall, I do have part of my hair like colored, but I can't put anything on it to cover the color. So I'm not sure if there's a way that like I can get like an extra week to be able to get rid of the color to cover it. I'm not sure.
Or you could just go like me.
Yeah, no. I don't want to do that.
Yes,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure
that
we-
was my main question.
Okay, so I'm sure we can figure that part out, but no, you cannot have colored hair. I mean, and I don't mean that in that way. I mean, yeah, if you can't have purples and greens and all that kind of stuff. You have to pick a color and stick with it.
Yeah, but the thing is that I just got it done, and I don't want to put more chemical where it's gonna like fully make my hair fall out or something. That's what I was saying. Like, can it give me an extra week so I can fully get rid of it and then fully color it black? Or would that be an issue?
You'll just probably, the good thing is this whole week you're going to be on video, so you're fine.
Okay.
So next week you'll just probably have to wear a hat.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Chris Arredondo, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually have two questions. So the first one is about the video. I have a 2019 Camry XSE sitting in the garage. Can I just use that?
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, that's a great question. Hey, let me tell you, if you're doing a video about whatever product, okay, use any car that you come up with. It's just use it as a prop. It doesn't have to be the actual car, so don't worry.
Okay.
So if you're driving a Chevy Tahoe and you're doing a video about a Toyota Tacoma, we know what it is. You're just doing it a video and just use the vehicle as a prop. That's all. Okay.
Awesome.
And you don't have to put the car in the video. If you want to do it at home and have a good background or whatever else, that's fine too. You don't have to make any special conditions at all. All I care about is to hear the product information coming over the video. I don't really care what's in the background. But if you want to go an extra step and, and do that, that's absolutely fine. But don't worry about the product. We'll just use it as a prop. Okay.
Awesome. And the second question is back to dress code. How does facial hair work? Do you want clean shaven or is like trimmed okay? Kind of like what you have right now.
That you are clean cut all the way around and clean shaven. If you currently have a beard, that's fine. Just make sure it's very trim and neat and perfect looking. Okay.
All right.
All right. If not, now's not the time to grow a beard. So
okay.
Don't do that.
Okay. Now that was my only question.
Okay. The same thing goes with piercings. Okay. If I'm not sure what the company policy is as far as earrings are concerned, but I'm going to tell you, we're probably going to shy away from that, nose piercings, that kind of stuff. Okay. Anybody, I don't think anybody has any facial tattoos, but anybody that does have any tattoos, well, you'll probably have to have them covered.
I have another question.
Sure.
Okay, so to the piercings, it's not on my face, it's more on my ears, but I do have like small stretched lobes. Is that gonna be an issue, or do I have to take them off? Or okay.
I doubt it. When we get you on video, we'll take a quick look just to answer to be direct. But females with earrings are just fine. So I don't.
Okay.
Issue there. So, and the videos, yes, to answer your question, Ali, the videos are due anytime this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. Just don't send them after 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, and email them as my preference. Otherwise, if you can't email it, you can text it. Either way. Okay. Any other questions?
I have another question regarding the dress code.
Sure.
As far as like the color of your pants or say your button-down shirt, what is that like? Like, is it just regular khakis or what?
No, no. Just as long as you're dressed professional from the waist down. Hey, we got plenty of people that don't match. So we're not looking for, it's not a fashion contest. We just want you to be professional from the waist down. Yeah, you wear blue, black, khakis, whatever. You know, I would shy you away from wearing any loud, crazy colors like, you know, neon greens or bright reds or stuff like that. You know, you want to just dress professional and be neat and clean looking. That's all. Anything else? Who else had a question? Was somebody up here? Chris Arredondo, did I answer everything for you? And yep. Oh, yeah. Ali, did I answer it for you? Yeah. Okay. Victor Andrade. As far as Victor, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. You want me to answer the facial hair again?
Yes.
Okay. If you have a beard, a goatee, a mustache, all fine. Not a problem. But and that's fine. As long as it's groomed correctly, you know, groomed right and clean and neat looking. And if you do have that, you just, whatever parts of your face that are not, you know, have a beard or whatever, you got to make sure you're clean shaven otherwise besides that. But we don't want you growing facial hair while you're here. You know what I mean? If you have a weekend off and you grow a beard during the weekend, great. You got a beard now. Just make sure it's neat and trimmed up all the time. And if you don't have a beard or whatever, and you are a person that's clean shaven, make sure you're clean shaven every day. Does that answer that, Victor?
Yes. Yes.
And as far as Mark Mirra, you had a question?
Yes, I was asking about the logo shirts. The company. Would we be receiving those, like, I guess the day we go in person, or how does that work?
Yeah, once you actually physically here sometime during that first week, you'll get that.
Okay. Perfect.
So, and you'll get an employee number, and you know you'll go down to the parts department, and they'll charge that to you, and they'll basically take that out of your pay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And Mr. Diamond, I live in Missouri City, so am I allowed to come on Monday to do the paperwork?
Yeah, sure. Actually, Monday and Tuesday, those of you who are here in Houston, we're going to get you all through here. If you don't show up here during lunch when we're here, yeah, I'm going to try to get everybody through the system Monday and Tuesday as you all pass. So, and I'll be talking to you probably individually or a group. The YouTube link, Cheyenne, the YouTube link is my name. If you can see my name on the screen, it says Don Michael Diamond, that is the YouTube link. Thanks, Jose, for shooting out the link.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so say we come up today, or like at lunch, right? How would we find you? Are you like on the second floor, or like,
yes,
like in the back, or?
Yep, I'm in the conference room with two of my best friends back here. I got Renee and what's your name? Sammy. I got Renee and Sammy back here.
Is there like a door number on the door, or?
No, it's just a big conference room.
The same thing with Jersey. Who would we talk to as far as performance
Patty.
goes?
I had already went and did it yesterday.
I would say you would go and see either Patty or Bobby.
Patty or Bobby? Okay.
Yep, Patty or Bobby. Any other questions?
Yeah, Don, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I have a cool question. Regarding the face mask, is it required to wear it all day or just when we're in
100%.
contact with somebody?
Yeah, the face mask right now is non-negotiable. It is yesterday, actually today, it is a law. So it doesn't matter what store you're in, while you are inside that store, unless you're in an office by yourself, you are wearing the face mask 100% of the time. That is an absolute 100% required. When you walk outside, you can take it off. and breathe or whatever. Because if you're by yourself out in the open air or whatever, or in the office by yourself, like I'm here basically pretty much by myself. It's a big room. So we're not wearing face masks here because we're pretty far apart from each other, and that's okay. But yes, when you are at the store physically, you're wearing a mask 100% of the time until we are given the right to not do that. And
Okay.
that's going to be a long time.
Even if you're far from anybody else, you still have to wear it.
No, if you, like I said, if you're walking outside to go do something on a car and you're by yourself and you're outside, you can take it off. But when you go and you're going to go talk to a customer, you have to wear the mask, and they have to have one as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, are the dealerships providing them for us and the customers as well? Or are you bringing your own? You have to have your own.
We do have masks throughout the store, but don't count on that.
Gotcha.
You could get them. I mean, I literally bought a box of 50 of these guys.
Right.
Makes me look like a doctor. They were like $8. So, and you can pretty much get them everywhere. So have one. I got one from SeaWorld the other day for $9. So got a little dolphins all over there. But yeah, you have to wear it. Right now, unfortunately, it's just the world we live in. You gotta have that. And Cheyenne, did you get the link?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, great. Okay. Any other questions before we break for lunch? No?
I have a question.
Sure.
Back to the scheduling. I know that you said we had a 40-hour work week with probably more towards 50 and stuff. How does that work once we go to 40 hours? Like, are we asked to come in, or do we just come in on our own terms, or what? Or like, what's the process of that?
Actually, that's a great question. So how this typically works is, and I'm going to break it down so you guys get it, is you're going to be scheduled for 40 hours. But what happens is, let's say you're getting off at 5 o'clock and all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you happen to walk into a customer. You're going to make that decision. Do you want to give half your way to go home, or do you want to sell the customer and make money? That's how you end up putting in the extra. It's not the company telling you, hey, you're going to work extra. It's your customers that are doing it. So, let's just say you got, again, you're selling a car to somebody and I don't know, something happened when the car deal, you had to switch vehicles, it took longer, and you're supposed to be off at 6 o'clock. You may not got done until 8 o'clock, and it's a situation with the customer, not something that the dealership has done and said, hey, you know what, you can't go home, you got to do this, you got to do that. That's not what I mean. What it means is you're going to end up always working an extra 10 to 20 hours a week. It's always customer related that is directly involving you. That's happened to you, not something that the company did. Does that answer that? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I worked at another dealership, and they would actually schedule us for that extra time, and so that's what I was curious about, because you made it seem like it was just the 40, So that makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
Sure. And yes, and there will be some times, okay, that the dealership is gonna give you a schedule that may be heavier than 40 hours based upon a lot of mitigating factors. Right now, that's not something that is going to happen, but in a normal business circumstance, it happens every day, where all of a sudden we're just bombarded. Like to get, you guys don't know about it, but we had Hurricane Harvey here, wiped out a lot of car dealerships, wiped out the city of Houston for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, when people started getting their insurance checks, the car dealerships here were on fire. I mean, we had business coming out of our ears, so we had to have all hands on deck to handle people walking through the door. So yeah, sometimes the people were here till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night just because of the amount of business. And to be honest with you, of the way the COVID's been acting and we're going back and forth and back and forth, I think August is going to be a big push in that direction. I think we're going to have an overwhelming amount of business come August, September, October, November, and December this year. I think the second half of this year is going to be pretty heavy. Giselle, go ahead.
I don't know if anyone already asked this, but do we get employee discount?
Yes, we do. Yes,
Okay.
Toyota and all the manufacturers have a employee purchase program. So you have to send the first $100 to me, and then we give you everything else after that.
Do any of the dealerships have demo plans still?
No.
I have a question.
I'm not sure about what performance does, but typically no.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Does Performance have a dealer allowance? Because I was at Acura and they still have one, but
I do not believe so.
they do not believe.
Like a demo allowance. Performance may do demos. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. Nobody usually has that. I know here at Toyota, we used to have a demo allowance. I'm not sure if they've done away with it or not, because there is a way that you can earn a vehicle, and that really we're going to hang on to at this particular point. But you do get a very, very serious employee discount. That you do.
I have another question, Don. Hey, does Toyota have a loan reimbursement program?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, if you went to college, or like, do you continue schooling as well? Like, if someone to go back and get their master's, does Toyota cover part of it, or did it cover the whole thing, or did it cover it all?
That's a good question. Actually, once you are here a year, NADA, the National Automobile Dealers Association, which you'll learn about next week, they have a grant that'll give you anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for your continuing education. And also they are the number one, not that it really matters, but like for NAACP, it's not NAACP, but it's the another college fund. God, I forget the name of it. But they have up to a $20,000 grant there. So there is multiple ones. You can earn up to $50,000. That I do know. And that is something, but you have to be employed a minimum of a year. Once you become part of NADA, which is easy to do after your year tenure, you can apply for those grants for school. And yes, so in a way.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
You can go, man.
Okay. About the employee discount, can you discuss that? How soon does that kick off? You know, with a new hire.
Once you get your employee number, you get your discount.
Oh, okay.
Right away.
Last question, Don. So the commission. So I hope it's not a stupid question, but we talked about this earlier. So you said it's $499. It's $499 for each car we sell, or it just depends again.
No, it depends on how much money you make. What I was giving you is real world averages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I gave you was real world averages, not anything in specific, because you literally can make $100 on a car, or you can make, $7-8 grand on a car. It just depends on you and the customer and the product. So like, I'll give you an example. If you went out and bought a brand new Ford Focus today and you were the salesman, how this is, I don't know, but it's the truth. A Ford Focus, if the dealer sold it at the window sticker, is a $263 loss. So now Toyota doesn't have that, but that, doesn't mean it can't happen. But I'm saying the average commission, U.S. commission across the board, is $354 a car. So if you took 52,000 dealers and all their financial statements, all their commissions on hundreds of thousands of salespeople, and you average it out, it comes out to $354 per car. So like I said, Houston is a little higher, and so is Woodbury is a little higher. So that's why I give you the numbers. And yes, the benefits do start after 90 days. Anything else? And there's never stupid questions, so don't ever worry about that. Okay, so Please send me those at first, your name and email, so I can make sure everybody gets the link for 1 o'clock. And we're going to break for lunch, and I will see you guys in an hour. Please log on and be at least 5. Okay? All right. Clint, be careful at lunch.